Habari ya jioni kwa wenzetu ambao watakuwa wanatutazama kwa mtandao, vile habari ya jioni kwa wale ambao tuko nao hapa. Huyo ni kusema kwamba ndugu yangu Miguda, ndugu yangu pia Msimamo na Makobura, natumai kwamba mko vizuri jioni ya leo. Labda tu kuanza na we Makobura, habari ya jioni.
Asante sana, acha nichukue fursa hii ni wasalimu pia mimi. Hali gani mandugu zangu? Mimi hapa niko salama, nashukuru. Shinda vyema, sioni mabaya.
Asante sana ndugu yangu Msimamo, uko vipi pande za pwani? Uko pwani kunasema lini? Unasema vipi?
Ndugu, kwa kweli hakika tunamshukuru Manani, maana hakika tumeiona siku imefikia mida hii, na si kwa uwezo wetu bali kwa uwezo wake aliye juu. Na pia lakini furaha kubwa zaidi pia kuwapapa hapa kwa channel yetu pendwa ya Brother Benson hapa, kuhakikisha kwamba tuna yadadavua yalivyo, lakini vile vile pia kukikuza kipindi haswa kiwe na utamu wa hali yake na pia kipendeze zaidi. Kwa hiyo tunamshukuru Mungu hapa tuko salama ndugu yangu.
Asante sana. Tulikuwepo na ndugu yetu ni kama mtandao ama labda kuna shida kidogo, lakini najua atatupata tukiwa njiani, tutamuuliza hali yake vipi, na pia atatuelezea nini jipya pali ambapo yuko kwa saizi. Kuna mengi yametokea usiku wa leo, kwa sababu tunajua vizuri leo nilikuwa ile siku ambaye Cyrus Jirongo ambaye kifo chake bado kinatatanisha, alikuwa anapatiwa heshima zake za mwisho, na tunajua ama tuliona kwamba kuna wanasiasa wengi ambao walihudhuria pale, ambao walikuja kupatiana heshima zao kwa Cyrus Jirongo. Wale wageni washuhuri kabisa ilikuwa mstaafu Rais Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta alikuwepo pale, na pia watu ambao wako na vyeo vya juu kutoka serikali na wale pia wa upinzani. Kuna siasa, maneno ya siasa na cheche zilikuwa pale. Kama tujaenda kwa mada, wacha ni karibisha ndugu yangu Miguda. Miguda, habari gani?
Niko salama kakangu, niko vyema. Nashukuru Mola kwa siku hii.
Asante sana. Labda kama uko na jambo jipi ambazo unaweza katuelezea sisi tujue. Una kipya?
Kwa sasa bado sijaona jambo geni, labda tu yale ambayo umeyazungumuza, na hapo tumefuatilia siasa za Kenya, na tunasema tu yule jamaa mwenye alitabiri ya kwamba hali ya anga itakuwa vile iko, apatiwe mawa yake juu alitabiri ukweli, na tunaona ya kwamba ni tu vile alisema.
Alitabiri kule magharibi ya Kenya?
Alitabiri magharibi ya Kenya kwamba siku 3 tutaona jua, na kwa ukweli tujaona jua kwa siku 3. Na vile alisema ya kwamba siku ya kwanza kutakuwa na mvua mchana na usiku, na hizo siku 2 usiku kutakuwa na mvua, mchana tutaona mvua. Sasa amesema leo mvua itakuwa saa 9 ya usiku pekee ya mwisho, alafu kesho kutakuwa na jua. Tumesema ya kwamba huyu jamaa ni kama anaongea na Mungu one on one. Mambo ni ya ukweli kabisa.
Okay. Sawa. Asante kwa habari hiyo. As I started during our conversation about the burial of the late Cyrus Jirongo, and there are bigwigs and who is who in the political limelight who are there. But what I came to understand, or what I came to realize, that when you are in this politics, the only time you will get to know that all these politicians at some point they've worked together, despite the fact that during the elections in the public they are usually not good friends. But when one of them passed on and they are giving their tributes, that is when you will get full detail of how the bigger politicians are meeting and how they are making the decision that runs this country. have realized that each and every person was speaking positively about Jirongo at some point, on what Jirongo did for them and remember, in the public domain, sometimes they were not good friends. So that's what is usually happening with especially in the political landscape. And this is something that I usually tell the voters always to learn on how to engage in politics, that it is not a do or die matter, especially if you are supporting another presidential candidate, or you have somebody that you are aligned to their ideologies, that you can even kill your brother just because he's not agreeing with you or is supporting another person. It is a big lesson that people should learn, especially the voters. It is not a matter of do and die, because all the politicians who are there, they spoke positively about Jirongo. They spoke way in which Jirongo, at some point, Jirongo also assisted them. That is something that also came out. Also, something that also came out is the children of Jirongo. Jirongo, despite the politic life, Jirongo had a wonderful family. And if you look at these kids, they seem to be people who have gone to school. At least Jirongo invested in his kids. Majority of them, they have good jobs, and there are many of them, not even one. They are almost over 10. And all of them, if you look at them, they are at a place. So that one tells you another side of Jirongo. Despite the fact that he was a politician, also he was a very responsible family man, because to raise those children and to put them where they are, with this economy that we have, it is not very easy. So inamaanisha hata mfuko yake haikukuwa ya uchache sana. So hayo ndio labda mambo ambayo naweza sema kwamba nimechukua, lakini pia tukizidi kuzungumza tutasema mengi. Tuliona mambo ya siasa. Edwin Sifuna alitumana Mudavadi kwa Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, kwa President William Ruto, ujumbe amfikishie, na wabunge wote waliongea katika kauli moja kwamba kifo cha Jirongo si kifo ambacho tunaweza sema kwamba ni kifo kinakaa kuna mkono ya mtu, kulingana na venye walikuwa wanaongea. Haja kufa tu, kuna labda jambo. Nilisikia wale walikuwa nasema kwamba inaweza kuwa kisiasa ama inaweza kuwa kibiashara. Sasa walikuwa nataka kwamba vyombo vya dola watoe maelezo kuhusu kifo chake. Ni hayo tu, labda anaweza patiana ndugu yangu msimamo, then Makobura, then Miguda pia anaweza sema yake, tukiendelea hivyo. Msimamo kulingana na yale ambayo yalitokea, labda kwa kufungua tu, labda we ni jambo gani labda ulisikia kutoka pale na we ulichukulia vipi?
Asante. Kwanza kikubwa ambacho nimechukulia pale ni kwamba, kwanza kabla awali ya yote, ni pia na mimi nitoe rambirambi zangu kwa wale ambao ni wafiwa kule, ukiwemo wale wajane na watoto walioachwa kwa na kiongozi yule. Lakini pia niombe roho yake Mungu lazima alipema peponi, maana kayatimiza yake, na sisi wengine pia nasi tuelekea huko, maana pua zote zimeangalia chini. Hiyo ni ajabu tu. Kaa mrefu, kae mweusi kama msimamo, lakini mwisho wa siku pua itaangalia chini, kumaanisha utakwenda tu. So wakati ukifika, basi huwa kuna sababu nyingi zinajitokeza kaka, lakini mwisho wa siku tukumbuke kwamba kila mtu yake ikifika imefika. Kwa hiyo sasa hivi tutazungumza yote jinsi ambavyo mambo yamekuwa, lakini kiukweli kwamba yeye hatima yake ilikuwa ni hapo. Maana kama Mungu hangetaka kumchukua kwa Yesu, basi vyovyote vile pia angetoka katika tundu la sindano. Lakini kama ilikuwa ni sababu ya safari yake, basi inabidi litimie lake Mungu, ili kwa sababu hataki kulaumiwa, basi tumepoa kulaumiana sisi wenyewe, kuonyeshana vidole. Lakini amemaliza lake, limebaki letu. Lakini pia tumejifunza hasa wale ambao nimefuatilia tangia yale speech. Kikubwa, kuna uwezekano mkubwa kwamba haya mambo kweli yana kizungumkuti, kutokana na vile ambavyo wengi wa viongozi pale wameeleza matukio ambayo yamejionyesha, mambo ambayo yamefanyika na maswali ambayo yameulizwa. Kwa kweli hakika yanatia wasiwasi kwamba hii ilikuwa ajali ama haikuwa ajali, na definitely kwamba watu, hata mimi pia sipo, naungana na wale ambao wana maswali yale kwamba haikuwa ajali ya kawaida, kwa sababu kikubwa kilichoniacha haswa nijue hilo ni mwili wa mwenda zake ulivyokuwa unakuwa described, kwamba mwili mzima ule kichwa wapi huku kawaida, labda miguu ile tu ilikuwa imevunjwa, so kumaanisha kwamba katika picha ya gari tulivyoiona, basi sidhani kwamba mwili ule ungekuwa uko sawa. So katika hiyo hali pengine hilo nilikuwa naliangalia zaidi, kwa sababu ndio litatupa picha halisi, lakini na masuala mengine kama vile CCTV, lakini vile vile masuala na abiria kukosekana, lakini vile vile pia na masuala mengi ambayo yamejitokeza pale yanaashiria haswa kwamba ndio ni ajali tuseme, lakini ajali ile ni kama ina maswali mengi ya kujiuliza. Kwa hivyo hayo ndio ambayo yametokea, lakini kikubwa zaidi ni vile ambavyo sasa watu viongozi wanafunguka kutaka kujua mazima peupe, sile kwamba watu wanabana kwa sababu ya kuogofya umma itakuwaje, ukizungumza mambo kama haya sio itakuwaje. Maswali yameuzwa kitu zima ili kila jamii waone, haswa wale ambao pia wana maswali sawa na hayo. So hiyo ndo hali ambayo imenipa moyo, kwa sababu sijawahi kuona mimi tangia hapo watu kuuliza maswali kama yale front bila kuogopa, na watu wanaambiana tu kweli mazima. So for real mwisho nitaungana na Sifuna alivyosema, hapa tunapigia mbuzi gitaa lakini wala hata cheza hapa, kwamba tuna demand kwamba either serikali tafutane na ifanye haraka uchunguzi, peane majibu ya maana, lakini kiukweli sidhani itakuwa hivyo, kwa sababu already wale wapimaji wa mwili ule walishatoa majibu yao kwamba wapi aliumia, viungo gani aliumia, wakatoa mambo yao. Sasa nashangaa tena sasa, sio kama kutakuwa na lipi, maana already kama ni postmortem imeonyesha kwamba ni ajali, so itafuatwa kiajali. So haya maswali mengine mwisho wa siku yatapata, lakini vile vile kubwa zaidi pia ile watu kujiondoa haya sasa, kutokeza wa kwanza haswa kupeana misaada mikubwa kusahulisha yale ambayo yamejiri, pia linawezekana, kwa sababu kama unacho basi huwezi shindwa na la kufanya. Na mara nyingi tunapoondokewa ndio tunakuta sasa kuna wale wanajitokeza kutaka kuleta msaada. So unajua kuna mara mbili, wale marafiki wa kweli na wale pia ambao wamechangia, lakini kule kuja kujiondoa haya, so watakuwa msara mbele pia kuonekana kwamba mchango wao ni mkubwa vile vile pia. Kwa hiyo sina mambo mengi tu, labda pengine huo ndio ufunguzi wangu. Asante.
Okay, thank you so much, good friend Simamo. And Miguda, I'm coming to you. What is your view on the comments of the political class, the politicians who gave their view about, the circumstances under which Cyrus Jirongo died? Some of them, majority of them, are saying that this was not an accident, that this politician was tortured and killed, and that they are also saying, majority of them, that there is no guarantee that they're going to get the real perpetrators or the real killers. According to them, they're saying that the government is already diverting, not really giving the right information. Miguda, what is your take before we get into the political side?
Okay. I just want to say, for them, politicians, they have the first-hand information. They have the intels. Maybe not. They are aware of what happened between the death of the Sarah Jirongo. Right now, when you confirm what they have said in the funeral, it's like there is something they know that the public does not know. I want to give the benefit of doubt that circumstances under which Cyrus Jirongo died is well known to them. So it's up to them for them to come to the public and also reveal the exact things. But as things have realized that they are together when one of them goes gone, the elites do bury themselves, unlike the hustlers or the strugglers. That one I've realized. So I just want to say circumstances surrounding the death of Cyrus Jirongo is well known to them, and it's now up to them to come up with the real issue to the public. They should not leave us into the suspense what they have left us right now, because they seems to have known something that we don't know. That one I can guarantee you. Back to you.
Maybe before we get into the political side, Msimama, what is your understanding of this torch thing, the culture thing, that if somebody is killed, for example, there's some cultural uh, things that they can do to, that they can do behind the scene that can help assist them in really identifying. What is your take on all these beliefs? Msimamo, huko kwenyu kuna mambo kama haya? Miguda pia utatuambia kama kwenyu kuna mambo kama haya, and then we'll get to the comments, the high octane politics that we say in that particular land. Msimamo?
Asante ndugu yangu Wakebule. Ni hizi mambo zipo kwa sababu ni mambo ya jadi. Haya mengine ambayo tunafanya, usomi ulikuja baadaye, dini ilikuja baadaye. Tangia awali walikuwa tunaongozwa na misingi yetu ya kijamii. Kwa hivyo tamaduni zetu bado zipo, beliefs zetu bado zipo, na zilikuwa zinatumika haswa kutafuta haki. Hao wakale wetu haswa walikuwa wataulizwa, wewe ni mwizi, ukatai ni mwizi, kunapelekwa kiaponi, na kiapo kitakukamata kama kweli umefanya lile jambo. Mchawi, ukiambiwa ni mchawi, ukikataa unaambiwa twende kiaponi tukape. Ukifika kwa kweli haswa wale magwiji na kile kiapo kitaenda kwenye haki. So unakuta mtu ameshikwa kweli na kiapo. Lakini pia kuna dhuluma pia kama ambazo zitafanyika kinyume, na watu wameulizwa haswa masuala kama mauaji kama haya ama masuala na kifo, basi kuna kule mahali ambapo wazee wanaenda kuzungumzia hiyo, na ina affect na inatokea, inaweza maliza mlango mzima. So hayo mambo yapo na yapo haswa kwa sababu kila jamii na kila tabaka lina mila yake na tamaduni zake. So kwa kweli katika jamii zetu za Mikijikenda hayo mambo yapo, lakini hata vile vile pia katika dini yetu, dini ya Kiislamu pia yapo. Kuna aya zikisomwa mali nyingine kama naita albadil. So mfano umekataa, basi mtu anaenda analia albadil, na unaweza kuta mtu amekuwa wazima ama mwisho wa siku. So zipo mbinu nyingi za ambazo ni za kitamaduni na kijadi kuweza kutathmini haki. Kwa hivyo si mambo mageni haya, na naamini kwamba yapo haswa, kwa sababu siku zote mwacha mwila ni mtumwa. Alafu pia nikawa nataka kuongezea kitu pale, ili kuangalia webs za wananchi nao wana yapi. Unajua tunasikiza viongozi wakisimama, lakini tunaangalia haswa ule umati nao unasemaje, na ili utajuaje umati unasemaje ni ule muhemko. Kiongozi gani akisimama wanachemka, kiongozi gani wakisimama wananyamaza. Alafu katika chekecha yao utajua kweli haswa wananchi wako wapi na viongozi wako wapi. So hili pia limejitokeza haswa pale, kama vile vile ambalo nilishuhudia kwa baba. Najua nilikuwa keen kutazama wananchi wanareactije haswa kwa viongozi wao wenye ngazi tofauti tofauti pindi wanapopata nafasi za kusimama. How are they reacting? Na nimeona pia nikashuhudia na nimeshuhudia tu tangia jana nafuatilia haya mambo kule nyumbani kwake, na leo pia nikaamini wacha nikae ngange nione sasa kiongozi nani akisimama watu wanachemka, na kiongozi nani watu mchemko utakuwaje. Tumeona, mimi upande wangu nimeona haswa wale wote kuongoozwa na kama wakina Uhuru Kenyatta, kina Orengo, kina Sifuna, wote ambao wako against serikali, basi nuna wananchi wamechemka zaidi kuliko ni wale ambao haswa ni wa serikali. Hilo ndo chunguza yangu na nyepesi zangu ambazo nimezifanyia uchunguzi sawia tu na yale ambayo niliona haswa wakati ule wa matanga na maandalizi ya mzee hayati mwenda zake Raila Odinga. Asante.
Okay, thank you so much. Miguda, wasemaje kuhusu haya mambo ya tochi And what is your view on the cultural side? Do you think these cultures that people do get hold on, especially on matters of murder, that when somebody is murdered and you are not really aware of who has done the act, who has participated, then there are some things that can be done culturally in one way or another that can reveal or can make them get to know who did the exact thing. Be good.
Yeah, before the coming of Western culture into the African continent, there were African people. African were actually living in the African continent. Even before the discovery of Bible, Quran, and Vedas, Africans used to live and they were existing and they were also doing their things in accordance with their culture. There are times whereby people could die mysteriously within the community, but there were some activities or actions that were being done during the burial time or funeral to ensure that there could be consequences for any person who have committed such an act. Actually, they do happen. People could realize so and so did it, and there were some consequences. Now, with the adoption of Christianity or religion, Muslim, Hindus, right now you find that there is mixed cultural practices whereby some people have incorporated religion and custom. But even there were some consequences that were being done. For instance, somebody could be buried alive, but because of the Bill of Rights and fundamental freedoms, which advocate for the right to life, now you cannot bury somebody alive. You cannot take someone's life. So if the culture is contradicting the Bill of Rights, if the culture is contradicting the will of God, it is not proper for you to take action or to undertake that cultural practices. I believe that what has been demonstrated today, that's according to their customs and their beliefs. Therefore, I don't want to contradict communities' cultural activities like me. I would not like anyone to contradict mine. Even with all those provisions and the emergence of the Western culture, we are still rooted into our culture, because when you reflect back the composition of the community, it is a cultural way of doing things. Even right now, there are some customs we practice like marriage ceremonies, even during baby naming, even the death ceremonies, we still practice a lot of culture. We cannot omit our cultures because of either one, three. So if they have decided to do so to delete, that's their custom. Mine is to respect their custom as a African person, and also to confront with that in this 21st century, the existence of culture is real and the beliefs is real, and people still practice those people. Maybe if you can decide to opt out. But the question we're asking you, why do you quit your culture and admire other people's culture? It means like you have made your culture to be inferior. Now you have suggested that the other people's culture are superior to your culture. We should always remain to our culture. That's why the famous Swahili methali, mwacha mila mtumwa. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much. I can see our good friend Joseph is here. Joseph, habari ya leo, umeshindaje? Nawe pia unaweza kuja utuambie maoni yako kuhusu yale ambayo yalikuwa yanatokeza pale kwa mazishi ya Cyrus Jirongo, na hasa ile kimila yao ya kuweka tochi ama kuzika mwenda zake na tochi. What does that signify and what is your take? Does that really has a meaning? I know it has a meaning. Does it has relevance in the world that we currently live in? Before we get into the political side.
Bwa mdogo, habari gani? Nataka kuwasalimu kwa lolote lile kwa jina la
Kiswahili chako
Mwenyezi Mungu.
kimekomaa ndugu.
Nataka kuwasalimu, naona brother Miguda ako hapo. Nataka kumsalimu sana. Na nichukue hii fursa kusema tu, umeona leo my party leader ameongea. Jua kila mtu ako na party leader. Nilisikia Miguda akisema party leader ni Uhuru Odinga. Sasa mimi nasikia party leader wangu leo ameongea. Amesema usinirushe jicho. Ukirusha jicho utaona moto. Thank you brother Mark. It has been a very good day for me. I've been good. So far in the evening, I got time and listened to the speeches that were given out in the Jirongo celebration of the life of Jirongo. And I want to take this opportunity to send my condolences to the family of Jirongo. He was a politician and he was a man of his own caliber in Kenyan politics. I know he has left a mark in everything that he did in politics, the same way that others are trying to do it. And I was very happy with one Mother Karua when she said that politicians should be led to mourn the politicians in the political style. And nowadays we say that don't bring politics into the funeral, but politicians, they need to be left to mourn like politicians. So brother Mark, I have been listening to the speeches and I can tell you that it's getting hotter and hotter. I think by 2026 it's going to be now full blown. I think Miguda has already seen also how it was fiery, and you can see now people now are pulling to the sides. Now you can see the political lines are being drawn in the sand. I think you can see it also Mark Miguda, Mark Obura. You can see that the political terrain, the lines have already been drawn in the sand, and you can tell where anybody is going to be. So that is that.
Okay, thank you so much. And now I want to just get into the specifics of every politician, and I would start with the comments. I don't know that's to start with Sifuna. I think I should start with Sifuna. And if you watched that, Sifuna was first, when he was arriving, he received a good reception politically. You guys have been around, and you know when a politician is loved or is seen to be, having or being on the good side with the people. And he had a long speech, and he did warn. He gave quite a lot in matters of ODM and also in matters of national politics. And we saw him warning the rivals against exploiting funerals for succession battles. He also accused some leaders of factions. Of course, the faction that is led the other faction that is supporting the broad-based, of being dishonest. He also warned them of not being grateful to the former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who supported Baba Raila Amolo Odinga with all that he had. And he took that opportunity to say that on behalf of the ODM members and on behalf of all those people who have not really acknowledged the fact that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta assisted Raila Amolo Odinga, he asked for forgiveness, and he said that he is sorry on their behalf. Something else that we saw from from Sifuna is that he insisted that he's still the Secretary General, and as much as there are some accusations that they are not towing or they want to sell the party to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, he said that those are not true. It is the other faction that wanted to sell the party, and once they noticed, the other side decided to change the conversation and now started accusing them of having wanted to sell the party to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. These are some of the sentiments that came from Sifuna, and he also reinforced the ODM's internal cracks after the Raila's death. He did acknowledge that, and in his defensive tone, we saw him also clarifying the fact that he's not a mole for Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and he got a good reception from the people. And I'll come back to you, Migoda. What is your general view on the comments of Sifuna and all those things that he did spoke about, particularly on matters about ODM, selling of ODM, and also reminding that the only thing that the president has to know is that he has to fulfill all those things that they signed, that was signed with Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, according to his statements. Migoda, what is your view?
Thank you for this opportunity again. First, I would like to say that my view, I want to also recall what I said yesterday. Of course, Joseph was not there, but yesterday, if you recall vividly, I actually supported Joseph's party leader, Uhuru Kenyatta. And I am the first person before Sifuna spoke yesterday. Of course, not I'm the first person. Maybe Sifuna I've also thought before. But when it comes to speaking from my intels or my access to news, I'm the first person to say yesterday that we should be grateful for what Uhuru did to Baba. And we should not now deny that Uhuru never assisted Baba. And I even said that Uhuru sponsored Baba's campaign. Uhuru gave Baba everything, logistically, everything. And my blame, I shifted to the secretariat. The secretariat which were handling Baba's campaign were the one who failed Baba, not Uhuru. Uhuru did his part. Remember, even the likes of Junet. When it comes to politics, we are very little politicians. When we can, Junet is the one who ate agents' money. Uhuru gave out agents' money. Today he's saying Uhuru did nothing. Where is agents' money? Where did he take our agents' money? Uhuru did everything. He gave us even agents' money. Junet ate and the company. So they should relax. This is politics. What I want to say is that Uhuru did everything for the ODM people, Raila Odinga. We were part and parcel of that team. I personally, I have a very good relatives of mine who are in ODM, and they were elected in various seats across the country. I know what Uhuru did to them. Even Buddy, you see, when you go deep, Buddy is my uncle, deep now, but not in the terms of close. But if you find wide, we are more related. So what I'm saying is we know these people. We have been together with them. We have been having meetings with them. Uhuru did best, and that time Uhuru was a darling to the Luo nation. So what has happened today? Uhuru did very well to Baba. To me, Baba taught us that we should appreciate, and also we should not. Some people think that there were the people who were in Baba's school because they were MPs or MC or senators. Even us who were never elected, we went in the same school from 2007 until Baba died. We were in that school. So we were also taking notes, what Baba said and what Baba did not say. What I want to say is that Sifuna spoke today. Not that I'm supporting Sifuna, but the point is very clear. Sifuna's be consistent from the word go. But these other fellas, they have been flip-flopping. So we tend to believe Sifuna, according to me. But let me tell you one thing also. No one is going to shoot us or crucify us because we are speaking the truth or whatever. That is their business. What we know is very crystal clear that there was intent to destroy ODM after the 2020 election. immediately after elections, there were some senators and MPs of ODM who went to State House. And Raila said, those people, they are betrayers. They have betrayed the cause. Ruto had intent to destroy ODM from the word go. Then Gen Z happened, broad-based happened. Now he has got the best opportunity to perfect his intent. The very people who went to State House after the elections, up to now, they have not been dismissed by Ruto. They have been front. All of them are eyeing for gubernatorial seats in the ODM stronghold. What is that? The intent is very clear. When people have been accusing these people for selling ODM, the right thing to do is to come and defend that we are not selling ODM, we are with the people. When we talked about the leadership structure, that the decision vests with the leadership, but that power is derived from the people directly. When we call for delegate convention, when we call for the people, it is the people. Party is the people, not leaders, not Oburu Odinga. So you can't say you have talked with three people, then you said, okay, we are going to support Ruto. That is nonsensical. What we're saying, and ODM is not for a low party. That one was very clear. You can't have some 3 laws, 4 laws in the corner. They say, okay, we have taken ODM. No, ODM is, that's the structure is very deep. That's why I like what Raila did before I died. That structure leadership, because if you go to Western Tapata ODM, Coast there's ODM. ODM is everywhere. So you cannot compromise Luo, a community, then you think you have ODM. No, you don't have ODM. ODM is beyond the Luo community. What I want to say is that if these people are true that all want to destroy ODM, you know, when you want to determine a murder case in a court of law, if you want to know who killed who, first you have to understand that if person X died, who benefit from the death of that person? That should be the first aspect. So when ODM is sold, who benefits? Is it Uhuru or Ruto? Your guess is as right as mine. So the person who want to buy ODM is William Ruto, not Uhuru Kenyatta. Not that I'm defending Uhuru Kenyatta or whatever case, no. I'm just saying he has shown deep interest. He has been dining with the ODM leadership. That's my view. But I don't want to make it look like politics or whatever. If ODM want to support President William Ruto, you know, in ODM, maybe Luos want to support Ruto. What about lawyers in ODM? What about coastal people? What about the people from Wajir, the Somali people? Maybe they're not interested. So give us delegation, convention, then you verify from the people. Which percentage want to support Ruto? Which percentage want not to support Ruto? Then we have a consensus. And I don't see why they're belittling ODM. ODM should front somebody. They will tell you, oh, Raila never prepared anybody or whatever. But I like what Sifuna said today. You know, I don't like to quote people, but allow me to quote this one. Sifuna said, and I want to quote, that some people want to be president in 2027. Then you are pushing them that let's give it a second term. We will seek it in 2032. Mbadi want to be president in 2032. Mudavadi want to be president in 2032. Or Babu, whatever. But maybe me, or Makobura, or Jose, or Musimamu, you want to be president in 2027. Why are you delaying my dream? Because you want to support Ruto. Why can't you just allow me to contest? Then when that time comes 2032, I'll support you. You support me this time because me, I don't want to be president 2032. I want to be president 2027. Those are very clear conscience arguments in the public. So, someone are you interrupting? Makubura, someone is interrupting me. I'm saying, I'm concluding. I'm saying that politics is politics. If you think you know politics, Everybody knows politics. So you play your politics, we play our politics. The people will decide. We will distinct between propaganda and fact checks. We'll distinct between betrayers and friends. But let's play politics the way it's being played. We know the propagandist, we know the person the truth, we know even the people who are fronting for your fellow people. So it's politics. Let's play politics, but do not subject the people on your way that you must do this because of my interest. And lastly, let me quote one. Okay, we'll still talk we are still here. Back to Makubura.
Okay, thank you so much. And Joseph, I'm coming to you. What is your take on the comments of Edwin Sifuna giving a version of what is really going on in ODM? He took his time and, of course, did apologize to the former president for the many attacks, political attacks that he's received, and said he's sorry. He also said that the president should know that they signed a deal and that deal has to be honored. And that is the 10-point agenda that, he signed together with the late Raila Amolo Odinga. He also said that if there are those people, for example, in Western Kenya who are not willing to go for presidency, then he's willing that the people should not be told to wait for 2032. He also accused all those other leaders within ODM who are coming up with a narrative that ODM is to be sold to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. He's saying that it is them who wanted to sell the party to President Ruto. What is your take, Joseph, on the whole comments of Edwin Sifuna?
Thank you, Brother Marco Bura. And I have clearly heard Brother Miguda. And Brother Miguda has been explaining it very well here. And I want to say, as I tackle the questions you have asked, I want to tell Musimamo that he also drew the battle lines in the ground and said that his party is PLP. And he has a party leader called Mother Karua. Then Miguda said he's ODM, so we know the party leader is Oburu Odinga. Marco Bura, we know your party is a lone party, so you know you are the party leader. But for me today, you have clearly known my party, and you have known my party leader today. So all the battles have been drawn now. The lines have been drawn in the sand. So as I tackle your questions, Marco Bura, I think it is now evident that war has started now. Political war, not war, the real war. The political war now has started, and it's going to span out to 2026. It's not going just to end now. It is going to spread out till 2026 and latest 2027 as we go to the elections. Because you can clearly tell that Sifuna and Orengo and other people that are supporting him, like Otsotsi, you did not even say about Otsotsi, Makobura. I heard you talk about Sifuna. Even Otsotsi spoke today. And if you heard what they were speaking about, they are tired also, and they are trying to forge their way out. But one thing I've realized with Akina Sifuna, they already know their goose is cooked, and they are going to be removed as the Secretary General and Ototsi as the Deputy Party Leader. But what they are waiting is for them to be removed, but not to resign. So they are going to try and foster that till the guys who are there up, and they are going to force them out. And the biggest thing of forcing somebody out, somebody always have sympathy. We have seen this happening to anybody. Even William Ruto, when he was removed, they started saying that Uhuru is trying to fight him from inside. He got a lot of sympathy from Mount Kenya and also Rift Valley, and that will propelled him to the presidency of 2022. So this is what is going to happen if they are going to try and remove Sifuna from ODM. It is going to spark, even if it is not going to be big. The problem is people now are talking about Magerele. You remember Magerele and Ababu Namwamba. They said that when they left, nothing too much took place in ODM. But the problem was Raila Odinga at that time. At that time when Magerere and Ababu Namwamba were living, Raila Odinga was alive and he was there. But this time is another different story. Right now, Baba is not there, and anything can go, because Baba was the one who was holding ODM together. So imagine when a full-blown scenario, people are chased from the party, what repercussions will there be have? So those are the things that are going to be checked. But about the 10-point agenda, Marco Bura, it's not even about the 10-point agenda. These things have already been drawn. I've told you the battle lines have been drawn. There is nothing like the 10-point agenda. The 10-point agenda is already dead, because if you clearly are saying you're going to stipulate the 10-point agenda, it was talking about things that we already know as Kenyans, things like judicial killing. But now Sifuna is going to use that 10-point agenda so that he can be able to pass his agenda, the ones he wants to pass. So that I'm telling you, Sifuna is looking just for one thing with Otsotsi and the like members. They are looking for a way they are going to be dismissed as party members, so that they are not going to say that they left ODM, but instead they were chased from ODM. So anything goes. Whether they are going to say, even if now today Makobura has broken now everything. I'm waiting for a response from ODM brigades, the people like Akina Wanga and Akina Junete, how they are going to respond, because there's going to be a response which is going to come through. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be pleasing, because everybody, you hear what they are going to talk about. Now they are going to say, sasa simeona Sifuna na Uhuru ndio kweli wanataka kuuza ODM. You're going to see the things that are going to come very recently. So these are not shockers. These are things that are going to happen in the coming weeks. And I'm surely seeing a place where January will be a place where Sifuna and the likes of Tsotsi are going to be kicked out of ODM. And all about Jirongo and about the torch, that one, I don't know how they play out their cultural things. Maybe it is true, maybe hiyo torch inaweza fanya kazi, sijui. But I heard Fred Gumo saying that wakati walianza kuacha tochi, basi ilianza kuwasha mataa mpaka polisi ikabidi wametoroka kwa police station ya Naivasha. So I don't know if it is true or not true. But in terms of politics, you already know the battles have been drawn, and you know which side Uhuru Kenyatta is standing, because he was throwing a shot at somebody, and we clearly know who the shot was being aimed at. When you hear him saying that, yes, to live in Amutwe, you know the only person who can try to kukaa kama anabishana na Uhuru Kenyatta is only one person, and you know him by name. He's the president of the Republic of Kenya as of now. So hii mambo hakuna mambo ya kulead in too much. It's political, and it's going to ensue. It will be ensuing for the next of this year. So now the problem will be Miguda, not Miguda, Mark. How are the teams going to draw out themselves? Now the problem is I've seen Uhuru Kenyatta. He has been countered by ODM people like Akina Junet and so-called the Akina Faruk Kibete. But have you seen the response that are coming? The response that are coming from even parties, quarters you never expected. You can see the likes of Akina Salasi, the likes of Akina other MPs who are trying to protect him and say, no, we don't need to hear about that. So they are coming from all quarters, and you hear them now. Even I've seen Jerry Minor, the women representative for Kirinyaga, started also talking about telling them not to try and speak on Uhuru Kenyatta. So that is things that are going to happen. Just wait. This is politics, Makubura, and they are going to be politics 101 starting from next week, because we are entering New Year this week.
Okay, thank you so much, good friend Joseph, for, of course, finding time to be with us. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of Good Year at the comment section. Thank you so much, Good Year. It's been a while. Happy New Year to you, and Merry Christmas as well. I think we are not yet past that. We are still in the mood. Allow me as well to...
let me greet Gypsy Corner. We have never met, and tell her Merry Christmas.
That is well noted. Allow me to also acknowledge Shaima Hussein, our good friend. Thank you so much, Shaima. Juzi ulikuwa upate Christmas, sijui kama ulipata, sijui kama ulikataa kutuma ulipewa namba ingine you were supposed to text, sijui kama ulitext. Lakini ni sawa tu.
Na Gypsy nimwambie nilimuona pahali akiandika comment akasema that is Mr. President. Kuna pahali nilimuona anaweza jibu. Niliona akiandika pahali Mr. President, alikuwa anaambia Uhuru Mr. President. Atatuambia kwa nini aita Uhuru Mr. President na kuna the President of the Republic of Kenya.
Very well. Atatuambia. Allow me to as well acknowledge Omuya Omoke. Thank you so much, Omuya Omoke, for your time as well and finding time to be with us. There's also Twin Star Edits. Thank you so much, Twin Star Edits, for also finding time. We really appreciate. Thank you so much. And I'll now get to you, Msimamo. Msimamo, what is your view on the comments of Edwin Sifuna talking about ODM, warning, of course, against those supporting the broad-based, coming up with a narrative that, he and his team wanted to sell the party to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. On his side, he's saying that it is the other side that wanted to sell the party to Ruto, but when they realized that, they are now changing the conversation and blaming them that they want to sell the party. He also warned against, how ODM is being run today, and he apologized to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta for the bad comments that the ODM members have been sending to him, specifically Junet. What is your view, Simamo?
Asante ndugu yangu host kwa swali lenye tija, na ndugu zangu hapa ambao wametangulia kuzungumza hapa, ndugu zangu wote wawili hapa ambavuni, lakini vile upande wa comment section kule kuna ndugu yangu naye James Corner pia. Happy New Year brother. Tumekupeza muda hapa kwenye kipindi, lakini karibu sana. Nikirudi kwako ndugu yangu kwa swali lako, ni kwamba siku zote kwa swali lako nikirudi kaka yangu, ni kwamba siku zote ukweli ni sasa vile ukweli na uongo ni sasa vile tuna maji na mafuta. So kiukweli, ukweli sasa tumeuona. Vitu vile nimetangulia kusema hapa, wananchi wako wapi? Utaona ule muhemko wa hawa viongozi, hapo utajua wako wapi. Pili, kwa swala hili la chama na yale amezungumza Sifuna, ni ukweli mtupu. Wale wanakuwa kwenye magari na kuongozana, wakiingia hapa wakitoka hapa, wakiingia hapa wakitoka hapa, wakiingia hapa wakitoka hapa, tunawaona haswa kwa macho na kwa media. Hii mikutano ambayo pengine wanazungumza hawajatuambia waliingia hapa wakapanga hapa, huu mpango ukapangwa hapa, ndio maana chama kinauzwa Uhuru. So unafiki wa peupe. Ndio pale jana nikasema siku zote nyani haoni kundule. Yasema mwenzangu ni huyu, ona la mwenzangu lakini lake alioni, maana linaonekana na mwenziwe. So walioanza kuzungumzwa na kupewa hii harufu kwamba wanauza chama ni wao, akina Junet na wengine. Leo wao hawezi tuhadaa si wananchi kwamba Edwin Sifuna anauzia chama Uhuru cha ODM, wakati Uhuru yuko na chama cha ODM since before, kwa sababu amemsaidia baba vya kutosha. Sasa wao kwa edha kuahidiwa, wao kwa tamaa za tumbo yao wajaribu kununua hii, lakini kwa kweli wanaokaa kwa magari, wanaokaa kwa mikutano na viwanja ni wao ndio wamemkaribisha huyu bwana katika chama. Kwa hiyo nakubana kaka alivyosema kwamba Edwin yuko pale sasa anangojea ile kwamba aondoka, na yeye mwenyewe pia alizungumza, kama tumemsikia haswa kwa kauli yake amezungumza, waniambia ondoka. of which yuko tayari kwenda, lakini hata kubaliana kusimama upande ambao, na si kwamba nalianza kulizungumza hivi tu. Sifuna amezungumza tangia awali ya yote, tangia baba ni mzima, kwamba hataweza kuungana na upande wa Ruto hata kidogo. So wale viongozi ambao wanaona wakiungana naye kwa sababu ya njaa yao ama kwa sababu ya tamaa zao, wasituadai sisi wananchi. Lakini kwa swala hili la Sifuna, kimtazamo wangu, kaliweka wazi, wanaouza chama si yeye, ni hawa ambao wanamuotesha vidole, kwa sababu wao ndo tunawaona kila siku wakiambatana tu. Na kama kitakwenda hivyo, basi kitakuwa kimemezwa, chama kitakuwa kimemezwa, maana mwisho wa siku kitakuwa kinaamuliwa badala ya kuamua. Nitaishia hapo kaka, asante.
Okay, thank you so much msimamo, and I'll get back to you Miguda. And Shama, I've shared my contact over there via the comment section. You can text and then I'll get back to you. I've pinned it over there at the comment section. Allow me to read some few comments over here. Shaima is saying the fact that Kasongo didn't attend the burial means a lot, because that means like that man likes where there's crowd. Okay. And Nyamukei is saying, why was Uhuru widely cheered at the burial? Goody is saying, how two of our CEOs, Uhuru and Sifuna, nearly earned me a sack for banking work to listen to them. Okay. Joseph, I was happy to listen to Uhuru. Yes, he's still my president. And there's also another one here. Sifuna might be young, but the brains of a real leader without being compromised. Okay, thank you. Goodia is saying Gladys Wanga and Junet should respect Uhuru and know that he's bigger than the two put together. Okay, thank you so much. Kasongo was scared of this torch. Okay, those are some of the comments that we are seeing coming up. There's a leader by the name Wamboka. I'm forgetting his second name. He also spoke about regional unity, and he also criticized the fact that there were no clear message on who and how Cyrus Jirongo died. And we saw him also urging the loyal leaders to unite and resist outsiders hijacking them. And I quote, outsiders hijacking our grief. And what again, if you saw Wamboka spoke, he also spoke that this gentleman was killed according to his statement. And what is your view on that as well, Miguda? I'm coming to you on the comments of Wamboka. And we also saw James Orengo, the governor of Siaya, also speaking. And of late, we've always seen him associating himself with the likes of Sifuna, Osotsi, and the likes. And he also stressed that ODM must honor Raila's legacy and avoid internal betrayal. He warned against outsiders dictating the future for the ODM. He also warned that parties are being swallowed, and that if the people in these other parties are not careful enough, they will end up losing all the parties that are currently there. He also warned and said that this government has a tendency of swallowing political parties, and that political parties should stand firm. He gave an example with ANC that was swallowed, and he told them that multi-party is something that they fought for, and that they need, to uphold what really multi-party meant. So Miguda, you'll also give your comments on what James Orengo talked about. Martha Karo also spoke about urging leaders to respect the dead and focus on integrity in politics, not opportunism. And what is your view again on Martha Karua, being that she was a close friend, of course, to Silas Jirongo, not once but several times. She also mentioned that they wanted to work together politically. Unfortunately, Jirongo is now no more. Miguda, because of I think something else that you can also give your take on before I forget is the comments by Boni Halwali, who of course emphasized on the cultural symbolism and the political theatrics, warning against leaders not being respected. And was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? You also performed the Tiriki touch ritual, and he declared that leaders must respect the dead and avoid the divisive politics. What is your views on those leaders, Miguda, before we get to the specifics of what Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta spoke?
Okay. The issue of first, let me also pass my greetings to good year, and also pass my happy new year messages in advance. I'm just on my way home, so I think a new year will find me at home, Ushago, and also Shaima and the rest for the come to the show. Wamboko talked about regionalism, and Wamboko talked about, I never wanted to, let me engage this one for Orengo going forward. Orengo talked about multi-party democracy, that there's this tendency by a person, not government, Makobura, let me correct you. It's an individual who has this character of killing multi-party democracy in this country. This individual by the name Mr. Ruto, Mr. President, has history. Uhuru is a victim of the circumstances, whereby he lied to them that let them form Jubilee Alliance in 2017. Ended up killing all Mount Kenya parties by that time. Now he has shifted gears to Luo wanted to kill ODM and other political parties. ODM is strong, so he want a weaker political parties in the country. That is his history, and we judge you by your history. Uhuru has never advocate for a single party state. Uhuru has never advocate for, when Uhuru vied for president, he was on TNA. Then in 2007, sometimes he was in ODM, then he went to PNU. So in that issue of party hopping, so this is someone who understands the multi-party democracy. He came from KANU. He has been doing Jubilee. But also during the 2020 election, he never advised Raila to fold his party. He hoped for the coalition agreement, the Azimio coalition, where he was the chairperson. I don't know what position he was holding. So from the history of Uhuru Kenyatta, Uhuru is not someone who can swallow parties and also someone who can not advocate for multi-party democracy. I believe the only person who can swallow chamas is William Ruto, and an enemy of multi-party democracy. They want single party state. And if you are very keen, in 2017 elections, Ruto was advocating for two-party state, whereby he said that the Jubilee and the NASA by that time, they should remain political parties which are strong, whereby we remain with the Jubilee and NASA for. Someone is interrupting me, Mike. I don't know what's up. I'm saying that he wanted to have NASA and Jubilee for posterity. That's how Kenya should be, whereby you are either in the party that forms government, or you are in the opposition party and you organize within until that time God will come back. That is what he has been advocating. You know, I listen to him often. 2017, he was my opponent. He was our opponent. So we were focusing on him. So we were following on each and every statement he was making. He spoke this on mainstream media, that Kenya should have two parties, the opposition and the one that form government. So you are either in them. And by that time, a lecturer of mine also advocate for that when we were in the classes, but it was not proper. Today, I realized that the intent was to kill multi-party democracy. You know, multi-party democracy is enshrined in the constitution. People fought for that multi-party democracy. Blood was shed. It came as a result of the people's sweat. Kenyans fought for it. Every Kenyans who were then by that time fought for it. Why should we lose something that was fought for? That is not going to happen in this country. And when Orengo spoke about multi-party democracy, it's because why is it that Rutas loved ODM so much all of a sudden? And you know, it's canny because he's telling the ODM people that prepare your house, I prepare my house so that we can meet. But in the real sense, he's the person destroying ODM. Just like I've told you, there was an intent to destroy ODM from the word go after 2020 general election. But because there's that structure in ODM, it's never easy to kill it. Because today, if you can take Wanga got 3 deputy chairpersons. If Wanga goes, we are going to elevate Otinda Molo as the chairperson for the ODM. So ODM cannot be killed with one day or with Ruto, the way he thinks he can kill ODM. And when who else is interested also in Junet? If Junet goes, Junet now, there are people who can take that director of election position. And there are many people who have shown interest for Sunai's constituency. Yeah, who can go for that ODM ticket. If he take, because when he took Mbadi, he thought he has finished ODM. We elevate many people. When he took Opio and I, we brought Rosa Buyu. So let him go with the people we want to go with. Those who will remain. But let us not kill the spirit of multi-party democracy. That's what I'm advocating for. We should not kill the spirit of multi-party democracy, because we had this country by at a point in life, Kenya was a single party state. And we know the consequences, that whether you are either in KANU or not. So for me to go to parliament, I must be in KANU. Whether my ideals does not align with the KANU, so I must be in KANU. So it forces everybody to be in KANU. Even and it also encourage dictatorship, and it encourage long term for the presidency, because most decisions has been made by a party, and party leader is the sole decision maker. We are not going back there. We are not going back there. There are things you cannot do in this country. You cannot kill multi-party democracy. You cannot kill term limit. And I also add the other person also. Yes, if you have not done, we can't give you more than 10. If you cannot do within 10, we can give you even 1 term, but 10 is enough. Because we are in this country where someone ruled for 24 years. Someone also ruled for 16 years. 10 is enough. We are diverse. We are many. We are gifted. We are talented. We are educated. We want to showcase each and every person. It's time to rule. This issue of one person, as if we lack leaders, we lack people in the country. One person going for 24 years.
Kaka nitakuingilia mazee. Hii mic yako ifanyie mambo kidogo. Mic yako ni bila.
It is only you who's not getting me. Joseph is not complaining. Kubole is not complaining. I think it is you. Maybe you are the person who have the problem from your device. Check your device. Because I'm very close to my mic. Very close.
I don't know whether I can hear you on my side, but I can also see a comment from Goodyear saying that there's a problem with your mic.
Okay. Okay. I'll be
Maybe you
back.
can log out and come back again.
Sayuko sawa, ni host si wewe. Sayuko sawa.
Okay. Joseph, you can give us your comment again on the leaders who spoke, the likes of Boni Halwale, the likes of Martha Karua, the likes of James Orengo, the likes of Wamboka. What is your view on their comments before we get to the comments of Wetangula and Mudavadi, who are representing the government? Joseph?
Thank you, brother. I think the only thing that we have is there's disconnect. And one disconnect is nobody in that funeral who said that Jirongo died because of an accident. They said it was foreplay. Everybody in that funeral, whether he was, it's very funny, even the government was saying that we need the relevant authorities to investigate. And they're in the government. So I think everybody who was there, he said that it was foreplay. So initially, if that is what is being suggested, and Orengo really spoke his mind out. Orengo is one person, whether you like him or hate him. That guy is a guy who speaks his heart. Orengo. Even when I was in the other side before I crossed over in 2018 and started following Baba. Orengo was one person I was following too much, and he was like a person I would like to turn out to be if I could become a lawyer. And I like his steadfast when he's talking, because he always follows what he's saying. He's a one person that will say something without even feeling any inch of what is going to the repercussions. And he has been talking thoroughly. And today he clearly said that when you see a government, I'll repeat what he said. He said, when you see a government who tries to come up with, they try to say the thing very fast, that maybe it was an accident, it was done like this. Just know there is something that is being hidden. Because they talked about Ouko, and he said that Ouko, they said, the police said that the police or the investigation said that he alijinyonga na akajimwagilia acid. So this is the same scenario where we are having. And the problem with Kenya, why even nobody believe anything with what the politician says is one thing. They not believe it because we have seen the certain circumstances that we have seen with people being assassinated in this country. Whether it is the likes of Tom Mboya, the like of Pio Gamapinto, the likes of J.M. Kariuki, the likes of Robert Ouko, the likes of this Msando, the likes of these other politicians that we have seen being assassinated. Even they say the Fidel death was also same. They used this kind of calibers and tactics. So that's why in Kenya you never be satisfied with the relevant authorities, because over the past of time they have shown that it cannot be relied on. Because when we are talking about Pio Gamapinto, when was Pio Gamapinto assassinated? He was assassinated in the wake of us getting independence. I think it was after independence. It was 1965, I think. He was assassinated. That was the first assassination thing that happened in the country. Then we went and continued, and we had the assassination of Tom Mboya. Then we had the assassination of JM, and we also came to have assassination of Ouko. So if truly somebody can come and tell us that the relevant authorities that are involved, that they do their work with seriousness, that only be a joke of the century. That's why you see people don't really have faith in the relevant authorities, even when they come and tell us that they did the investigation very well. And you can tell a foreplay that happened in the Jirongo's death, because there is something that Wamalwa said, Eugene Wamalwa said. He talked about how they were saying the investigation has been closed, and it was found that the accident was the cause of the death of Jirongo was caused by accident. Then after they said that they need to reopen, I think about how they were talking about the bus and you know, they came too many scenarios. I was listening to the news and I was seeing this news and I was shocked that the bus driver truly said that Jirongo was on his lane. But when it came to be investigated after, we saw that Jirongo was in his own lane. So it does not even make sense. You know, some things don't make sense. And then the other thing is, what is not even being clearly said is, what was he doing till Naivasha at that time? And if you want to say that Jirongo was killed or died in the road accident because he was drunk, do you mean, Marco Bura, you can leave Nairobi, Karen, to Naivasha when you are drunk and nothing has happened to you in that journey, in all those kilometers, that you're just going to come and die at a petrol station when you're trying to overturn, to take an overturn and go back to Nairobi? Is that even, does that even sound to you like a logical thing? Because if you are coming out from Karen to Naivasha, you'll pass through Southern Bypass. There's so many things that you're going to pass through there. You're going to pass through trucks which are on transit. That is a highway that is running all through. You're going to pass through Maimahio, which is a very dangerous spot, a very tricky one. And you're going also to pass through major roads when you're going to Naivasha. But I'm wondering, he only saw the death only occurred when he was just taking a U-turn from the petrol station. It does not seem right. And then the story of the Pro Box does not sit well with me, because when you hear people saying about a Pro Box that they were coming out of graduation, and when you see that Pro Box, even when they enter the petrol station, they were not going to even to fuel. Were they saying that also then they had a coincidence that when Jirongo came and entered and left the petrol station, even then they came and left the petrol station? Things don't add up very well, my brother. So that's why there is always this thing of foreplay. But it has happened because of the government. The government has been involved in so much of the assassinations that even now nobody believes in anything that they say, because this thing was being directed to the government today. So I think the whole agenda of the politicians today, nobody talked about an accident that occurred. They talked about foreplay. Even the likes of Akina Wetangula and Mudavadi, they were still talking about that. And I think this one should be hastened and people should know what killed Jirongo, because it cannot be that those all deaths have not been solved. We know even the culprits, like the case of Akina JM, the case of the only tomboy is the one we saw was arrested, the person who shot, but we never saw the people who are mastermind behind that being taken to court. Ouko's case is a cold case. JM case is still a cold case. They have never got justice, brother. Msando, just the other, how many years, Msando? Was this 2013? Just the other year. We have another one who was killed in 2017. We have never received the answers, brother. So are we going to continue this spell of people will be murdered and it goes just like that? I feel pain, even though he's a politician. He has a family, brother. He has kids. So all this that was being talked there, what I truly saw is people of Luya, they were very hurt. And I think also it's bringing a unity amongst them. I think Jirongo was one person who was trying to bring unity for the Luya community. And I think even in his death, he's bringing the unity amongst the Luya people. Because even so far, tell me any leader who was talking there who was not talking about unity. And I think, as the way Sifuna put it, Wetangula and Mudavadi will have a very rough ride in Western politics as it comes by. Because even you could see some people, some politicians, when they went like, there's that guy Sivula, he tried to talk about Mudavadi and he was booed the hell out. So I think this is now reckoning for the Luya politics. It will be like the Kijana wa Malwa time. It's sounding like that, the Kijana wa Malwa time. So I think that those are my comments, brother man.
Okay, thank you so much. Msimamo, what is your take on the comments from the leaders, the likes of Boni Kanyali, the likes...
Asante ndugu yangu, lakini awali ya yote naona kuna mwenzetu hapo ambao ni leo na request ya link, labda pengine uweze kuituma hapo apate kujoin na yeye leo request for link kwa kweli mimi kile ambacho tumejionea hapa ni mambo yalivyo. Viongozi gani tukiwaegemea watasimama na sisi, kwa sababu wale wote ambao walionyesha machungu kwa mambo ambayo yametendeka katika kifo hiki kizungumkuti kilicho ndani ya kifo cha huyu mheshimiwa
Msimamo, are you there? Msimamo? Okay. Thank you so much. Allow me to acknowledge everyone who has commented, who has given us their view in the comment section. We really appreciate. Thank you so much for being here with us. I can see Good Day saying Davadi and Retangula are hypocrites, dancing too and scared of their CEO's tune. Okay, allow me to acknowledge, of course, on the other side, Leo Nyabaya, thank you so much. Francis Washira, thank you so much. Donald Kimaya, asante sana. Austin Okumu, asante sana. Chere Charles, thank you so much as well for finding time to join us this evening. We really, really appreciate. If you are watching for the first time, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. I can see our good friend Leo is also here. Leo, habari ya leo hii, umeshindaje?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Proceed. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you doing?
We are doing good. We thank God over here. We are having a discussion on what really happened at Cyrus Jirongo's burial, where, we're just giving our views on the comments of the politicians. And we started with the comments of Edwin Sifuna, who is the Secretary General of ODM. Edwin Sifuna is saying that those people who are accusing him and his associates that they wanted to sell the ODM are lying. He's saying that it is them who wanted to sell the party to President William Ruto. He also took that opportunity and said, asked or apologized before the former president, and said that he was sorry on behalf of all those comments. He also warned, of course, that he also said that the president, William Samoei Ruto, has to, respect all those that we signed, the 10-point agenda that was signed between him and Raila Amolo Odinga, and that is the only thing that they're demanding or asking of him. We saw Governor James Orengo giving his take, saying that this government has a tendency of swallowing political parties, and it is not right. He advocated, of course, for the continuation of many political parties.
Sorry, if you just come up, who was specifically talking of the government having a tendency of swallowing political parties?
James Orengo, the governor of Siaya. Yeah, so maybe you can just give us your take on all that before we get into other questions. Joseph, just stay, relax. I'll give you a chance to also give your views.
All right, thank you. I think I did get an opportunity to follow the entire proceedings of that is the final send-off of Jirongo. And from that send-off, I think Kenyans learned a lot about the Kenyan politics. Kenyans learned that despite the fact that Jirongo stood for KANU, or Jirongo was the face of the operation in KANU, there are still those people like James Orengo who are really, really shouting outside there how KANU was bad, but still behind the curtains, they were having some dealings with Jirongo. We also learned that Raila was right when his dad died, that is in the 90s, to move out of Ford Kenya and form his own party, because Orengo confirmed to us as the senior most. You know, Orengo was the second vice chair of Ford Kenya when Jaramogi was still at the senior most position that was held by Alu, apart from the party leadership that was held by Jaramogi, that he would consult Jirongo, him and Wamalo will consult Jirongo. But on aside, I just want to make some quick picks. Today we were able to learn the kind of leadership that we need and the kind of politics that we have. I was so surprised that Sifuna admitted that as the party secretary general, he never saw the importance of thanking President Uhuru Kenyatta for the assistance or for the help that he gave ODM throughout that time they worked together in 2001, 2002 towards and after the 2022 elections, that he only saw some importance of doing it at Jirongo's funeral. That is so pathetic and so not only unfair, but it's so incompetent of somebody who calls himself the Secretary General of one of the largest parties in Eastern Central Africa. My hero today was Abdul Swamad, that is the Mombasa governor. He talked with the sobriety, he was calm and addressed the issues. And actually he said, you cannot expect to be united when you show some disrespect among the leaders. Well, we have the leaders who are leading you today. As much as you want some other leaders to lead you tomorrow, you have to start by showing respect to the leaders who are leading you today. So we saw some hecklers like Boni Khalwale, who instead of utilizing Jirongo as expected of them, came and wanted to set up the people against the elected and representatives like Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula. I also have to say that I like the calmness that I saw in Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula. If truly we are to define leadership, the leadership can be seen in them, the way they conducted themselves. Despite all the attacks, all the setups and everything, they remained calm and focused on what exactly took them to Jirongo's funeral. So a lot was said, and most of the things that were said were just maybe to attract the attention of people. Specifically, even my governor, James Jirongo, was there. But he just said the usual things that people are told. You are a senator, and he's having some, you are, I think, the minority leader of the minority, whatever, in the Senate, where you can be able to summon the security organs and inquire on the death of Cyrus Jirongo. But you want to go to the funeral and show people that you are really vocal by starting shouting and addressing the president in a funeral, when you know very well the president was not there. The people you are addressing, their legal places, you can be able to summon them. So that's not leadership. We did not elect these people to come and cry with us in the funerals. We elected them because all of us could not fit inside that Senate or inside that National Assembly. So we elected them to go and represent us. And just to pick on some few things, I've learned that, you know, right now the politics that we want and politics that my people should advocate for is the politics of bread and butter. That is the only path to power, and that is the only thing that is going to save our people. We know very well that when I heard Sifuna said that today he went to Sindo and he was late because the roads there were not good. And like if he had gone to maybe some parts of Nyeri or some part of Kiambu, there would not have been delays because the rates there are good. I agree with him. But what he forgot to tell people, that the people of Mount Kenya region that we hail as the model of development did not achieve this progress through politics of democracy and fairness. This kind of growth that we keep on talking of were as a result of the politics of bread and butter. Something that we've realized and we're following that path. Then Sifunas and James Orengos now want to take us back to the politics of democracy and fairness. This is a politics that we've been doing in Nyanza and Western ever since we achieved independence. And the people who resorted to the politics of bread and butter, which roads are we going to get? How many hospitals are going to be built, irrespective of how much the government is spending on them, irrespective of how corrupt deals are being involved in the process of building these roads, are the ones who laugh at us and tell us that when you go to Sindo or when you go to Shamahoho, you are likely to get stuck. But when you go to Rimoroni or wherever, you will get a road that is good and the traffic is flowing, because they chose the politics of butter and the bread. And this is the politics that we need to follow. This politics of shouting in the funerals and claiming how the government has been unjust and those kind of fighting for the rights and other things are politics of the past. We now have the political parties whereby you can be able to form your own political party. If you think that the party that you are in is, you are not comfortable there, you form your own political party, then proceed. So those are some of the things that I listened. People like Boni Halwale, I don't think they made any sense because the things that they are telling people. So you are talking to people who are helpless. You are telling them that, you see, huyu aliuliwa, hakukufa accident. So which change is it going to make? How are the mourners going to help you get the justice when you are a senator who sits in one of the most powerful houses that is playing the role of a judicial, maybe tribunal? So you are going to tell a border in Kakamega that Jirongo was killed, and the information that you're being given is not fair enough. So, you know, this kind of politics is a politics that has been passed by time, and we don't need to go there. So kindly please, just a minute, I'm getting some emergency somewhere. Within 2 minutes, I'll be back. Sorry. I'm having an emergency.
Okay. Thank you so much, Leo, for your take as well. We appreciate, and here we say that your opinion counts. Allow me to get back to Miguda, if I'm not wrong.
Hello,
Kaka, mimi nilikatwa tu kigafla kwenye nikiongea na nimerudi.
Ni sawa, msimamo haukumaliza, ulikuwa na shida ya internet. Kindly you can finish your comments before I get back to Miguda.
Hapa mimi nilitaka kumsikiza Leo. Kwanza nimsalimie, ni ndugu yangu ambavuni, tumetoka naye mbali katika anga hizi za kuyadavua yalivyo, lakini nimemsikiza hapa nimechanganyikiwa kwa kweli, nimechanganyikiwa kwa sababu anayefungwa kamba hapa ni mwananchi, maana wanasiasa wana fungu lao na mwananchi ana fungu lake. Kwa tukusema maendeleo ya barabara Kiambu na kule yalifanyika, sidhani kama ni mwananchi ndio ambaye alifanya hayo. Ni viongozi walivyong'ang'ana kuhakikisha kwamba upande ule piga huwa kutakuwa hivyo. Still bado pia kulikuwa na viongozi upande wa Nyanza na sehemu zingine. Bali likija katika masuala ya ujenzi, mwananchi yake ni kusikiza kwamba anajengewa nini, anafanywa nini. Kwa hiyo kama wakati huu ni wakati wa revenge, maana na sisi lazima tuwe upande huu ndivyo tuone maendeleo, ili tuwe sawasawa na wale hapo. Sijui kwamba anayefanya hivyo ni mwananchi ama ni wale viongozi, au ni kiki ya viongozi kuweza kuwafumba macho wananchi, kisha mwisho wa siku tuwapate ni wale wale. La kwanza. La pili, hivi kweli anaamini kwamba kuungana kwa ODM na UDA, ODM itakuwa na sauti mbele ya ODM, mbele ya UDA? Kwa kuungana huku itakuwa na sauti? Maana mwenye power si ODM, mwenye power atakuwa ni UDA, ndio mwenye kila kitu. Hapo sauti itakuwa ya nani? Na kama sauti itakuwa ni ya UDA, thamani ya ODM itakuwa ni nini? So hizi narrative zinaletwa na wanasiasa kutufunga kamba sisi wananchi tusimame kwenye kweli, na kweli itabaki hii ambayo Orengo amezungumza. Kweli ni hii ya Orengo aliyozungumza. Nani ambaye asiona kwamba ANC ya Mudavadi imemezwa? Nani ambaye haoni kwamba Ford Kenya haina sauti? Relax na kumaliza tu.
Sitaki umalize.
Hata mimi kupika, hata mimi nitakupika. Kuna mambo umesema hapo na lazima nikupike.
Sitaki umalize.
Relax, hivyo umeongea ukamaliza. Leo acha umeongea mambo mingi sana.
Acha Msimamo amalize, and then Joseph pia nitampea wakati awakuulize, ndio that is when you will give you a chance to reply before we proceed. Msimamo, continue.
Unaona, so tulishuhudia kwamba Jubilee pia ilikuwa na mgawanyiko at early stage, kama tunakumbuka kumbukumbu zile za makondoo kuibwa na miti ya watu kukatwa shamba lile, kisha mwisho wa siku kana Uhuru na mvutano ndani ya Jubilee ikitaka kumwezwa. Kwa kuna Jubilee akina Sabina Chege na wengine na akina Kioni. Hapa ilikuwa vuta ni kuvute kidogo, nacho kimezwe. Leo hii mnajipeleka wazima mkidhania kwamba eti kwa sababu huyu amekaa na sisi muda mrefu amegoka kuwa mbuzi wala si fisi tena, na ili sisi tunusurike basi lazima tukae na huyu kwa sababu ndiye ambaye atatufisha Canaan ambayo ni Singapore. Leo ndugu yangu, hatima na hii sauti unayozungumza haswa na msimamo unayozungumza, kwa kweli turudi haswa kwa mwananchi, tuache fungu la viongozi, maana kama kawaida ni wale wanagomana mchana, usiku wanapatana, na wakigomana usiku mchana wanapatana. Fungu la haswa na future haswa ya Luo Nyanza, kwa sababu hawa wote ambao wanang'ang'ana broad based government, wengi wao wametoka katika Luo Nyanza, na ni wenye ambao wamepewa tayari nyadhifa za uongozi, wanatengeza mishahara yao wanatengeza kibindoni. Hivi ndugu yangu, leo nikimaliza ili nikupe nafasi uone kwamba jamaa wanatetea vyeo vyao visije, na wanatetea nyama mdomoni, wasije wanatetea nyama hii isije kaondolewa mdomoni. Na ili kutetea ni kurudi haraka kwa kila mbinu ili kuwapate kuaminika kwa wananchi, ndivyo angalau hii nyama waweze kuisustain isije kaondoka mdomoni. Asante.
Kabla hujaleta mwenzangu, najua ana mengi. Kuna mahali nataka kutofautiana na msimamo kidogo. Kuna mahali amekosea. Umejua, kwanza kile tunafaa kujua, umejua mimi natoka kule Siaya. Gavana wangu ni James Orengo. James Orengo alichaguliwa kama mwanabunge, sijui niseme ni mchanga ama vipi, yeye alikuwa the youngest member of MP during that by election, and actually he managed to beat the most powerful people who are supported by the powerful people like Oloa Ringo and such kind of candidates, Bishop Ondiek. Then Orengo also managed to become senator. He served as a senator of Siaya 2 terms and currently is a governor. And he also ran for president. Of course, he ran for presidency in the year 2002. And what is trying to maybe accuse people of doing all these kind of things he did, because in 2002, when everybody was tired and wanted to remove Moi, and he knew very well that him running was going to maybe have some effect or deflect some numbers from Raila's candidate, who was Moi Kibaki, though we thank God that did not work. So he ran. So why was he running, knowing very well he was not going to win? He was running so that he can work on the numbers in the Luo Nyanza and deny Kibaki a chance of removing Moi's puppet, who was Uhuru Kenyatta by then. So that's a story for another day. So it sickens when I hear somebody like Orengo, who become a legislator and now is the head of executive, who cannot show anything that he's done as an executive, standing to criticize a fellow head of executive. That is, I don't know if I should call it blackmail or it's ignorance, actually. It's educated ignorance. You are head of executive. You yourself, you are not able to show what you've done as an executive. You are not able to show the people that you elected you to lead SIA as a governor, what you've done to them. Then you are able to tell us what the president ought to do, and he himself, he cannot implement such kind of things. So I'm sorry to say that, even though I normally don't like opposing James Orengo, but sometimes whenever I try to defend him, then he keeps on disappointing and pushing me to a point of maybe poking holes on some of his political weakness. What I was saying, the politics of bread and butter, I'm not implying the politics of tokenism or the politics of maybe people being bought and such kind of things. The politics of bread and butter is the politics of what common Mwananchi want to know. Like right now, Mwananchi want food, they want hospitals, medicine in the hospital, they want the road. That's the politics of bread and butter. The politics that Orengo, Sifuna, and Halwale is playing is what we call the politics of emotions. And that kind of ideology might resonate well with the masses who don't care about the roads they're going to use, about the hospital they're going to be, until reality hits them, is when they realize that instead of doing these politics of emotions, we'll be working close to the government to ensure that our roads are repaired and our hospitals are upgraded. So that is the politics that my people should run away from. We've done it for the last 60 years. It is not paying. The change is inevitable. People like Goody and my friend, I've seen her commenting there that she didn't expect me to speak like this. But this is something that we've experimented for the last 6 years. But only fools don't change their minds. So it is high time that we change our mind. Those people who are shouting at the back there, they are just shouting because now, when bread is full and this bread is now being divided equally, some people who are used to getting your share feel like what they're getting is less, so they want to kick you out of the house so that they can continue enjoying your share. So that is what is happening. These people don't want you community to be out of government. Maybe for
shikilia kidogo, utanipoteza sasa. Shikilia.
And that is the fact.
Utanipoteza Nyabaya. Kwa hivyo unamaanisha kwamba sasa wewe shida yako ni power.
Yangu sio power, ndio
shida yako ni power, kwa sababu kauli zako zinasisitiza kwamba ili
2027 hatutaji power haitatusaidia. We don't want to support William Ruto so that he can give us position to give us power. We want to support William Ruto so that he can equally distribute the resources in the country. We don't even want SEAs as my community. As long as we have the roads, he can keep the SEAs and give them the people who want it.
Relax. Just hold on, kindly brother. Leo Nyabaya, at least unijibu la mwisho tu nimpishe kaka hapa.
Okay, after msimamo
nimezungumzia power kwa nini?
Ask your question.
Yeah. Kwa nini nazungumzia nasema anyway, wacha nipishe kakaangu Joseph kwanza alafu nitarudi tu ili kusudi tuende katika hali ya usawa. Unajua hapa kachemsha, nadhani anachemka kidogo ndugu yangu hapo. Yes.
Nitakupatia ndio uulize swali juu naona unataka kuuliza swali. Unajua leo amekuja hapa akasema maneno mengi ambayo hayana mpaka msingi na hayana msimamo yoyote, kama vile msimamo waito hapa. Amekuja akatuambia politics of bread and butter. Akaulizwa swali hapo akasema ati anataka maendeleo iende Kenya mzima. Maendeleo itaendaje Kenya mzima wakati unasema bread and butter? Wewe mwenyewe ndio umeongea kwa kinywa chako ukasema tumekuwa 60 years bila maendeleo yoyote. Kwa sababu hatukuja kuwa kwa serikali. Tunafaa kushikana na serikali. Kwa hivyo inamaanisha wale watu washirikani na serikali hawatapata maendeleo kule wako. Najua, stop being a hypocrite my brother. You're talking hypocritical nonsense here. And another thing I heard you saying is that when certain people are in power, they build certain things like roads and water. The question is, did Inyoro is building schools and roads in his constituency? Is he in support of the government now? If you have bad leaders, you have bad leaders, brother. Blame yourself. Stop blaming people. This nonsense of blaming people because they have been, Moi has been in power 24 years. Why did he not build roads in Rift Valley? Don't cut me off, my brother. Let me talk. Let me talk now. I'm talking now. Don't cut me.
You know, you are responding to what I did not say. The politics of bread and butter in my context means it refers to the core issues affecting people's lives, every day's life, things like jobs, food prices, infrastructure. That is the politics of bread and butter. So put it in the right context. Don't just take it literally, the politics of bread and butter. That one is not, I'm not talking of that politics of giving people tokens and handouts. I was specific, bread and butter.
I do not talk about tokens. I think you're not hearing yourself well, my brother. Listen to what I'm telling you. Just listen to what I'm saying. Did you hear me saying about being given tokens? I talked about the things you are talking about, which
I can make inference from how
right now, because Kenyatta Hospital does that, brother. Why you don't like to shut up when people are talking? You like to talk yapping. Let somebody talk and put his points. You like to cut people off.
Let's have
I'm
order.
asking you the question. You said that this is not the politics of tokenism. You have said it is politics of bringing people medicine. Right now, we don't have medicine in Kenyatta Hospital. Who are we going to ask? Are we going to ask the people who are there before, or are we going to ask this government? We need to put it straight. You cannot come here and tell us that. I know what you mean when you say politics of bread and butter. You have just come here and you have told us certain people are in quarters of government. That's why certain regions like Kiambu, you even stated Kiambu, they are far off. I've come here given you an example of a person, a single MP, who is being able to utilize his resources to be able to build schools. People say that he's taking money from the seat that he has.
The work of MP. I'll also remind you that.
That one I don't care if it is his work or is not his work. As long as he's working. If you don't have an MP who is working in your area, speak to your MP. Don't come and
say the Ministry of Education. So if the Ministry of Education,
so it means the Ministry of Education has failed, which is the government. So what are you trying to sell us? The Ministry of Education has failed. That's why the MP is coming in to build the schools and the roads in that region. So there is no point you're trying to tell us. I've heard you saying about border people that they at Kinaboni were talking. They were not talking to the border people. They were talking to the government officials who are there. One is a speaker and the other one is a prime cabinet secretary. Themselves they came and concluded and said this was a accident. Those officials they say it was foreplay. When we investigate, are you DCI? You're not a DCI.
It's a federal state function for reminding the government of their policies.
And my question is, are you a DCI officer? Because I don't understand your work. They came and said it was foreplay. Even the people you are coming here to claim that you are happy with your speeches. And they say the government need to go to the end of this. Have you become this? You know that it was an accident. Themselves they see, no, I'm angry, Marco Bura, because this guy comes here and being nonsensical things, which don't have head and don't have a tail. Telling us nonsense from the beginning, telling us about border guys. That you clearly know. You came here and you told us two people that talked well in that meeting. You came and claimed Abdul Swamad and only brother. If those are the people who spoke well to you, don't come and tell everybody they spoke well to them. I had nothing they said of. I did not hear anything they said, by the way. They did not say anything that made sense to me. So everybody has somebody who made sense to him today. And these things that you are trying to bring, Leo, and saying that even people should leave out of their party if you don't feel happy in the party. People don't need to leave. If you feel that somebody is afflicting you, chase him out. Simple as that. Chase him out if you have the power. Don't come and tell us that people need to leave. They have invested so much. Ososi said he has invested so much in ODM. Let them chase him away if they are men enough.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to just put this across. Let's have some order. If somebody is having a question, let us kindly listen to the question. And if you are supposed to answer the question, kindly let us just maintain that order so that we have a good debate. Let us not get out of the discussion or the topics that we are having. I kindly request that if one person is talking, let's give him time to finish so that when you're given time, you can be able to answer or to give your views. That is my request. And I don't know whether Msimamo, you finished asking the questions before I bring Miguda.
No, nataka nimalizie kwa leo kwa sababu kila ilivyo leo hapa napendezwa wakiwa kwa power, basi barabara tutazipata. Lakini nashangaa, anaelewa shida tulionao sasa hivi kwa taifa ni ipi? Hiyo inayotunyima barabara, hiyo inayotunyima madawa mahospitali, hiyo inayotuonyesha haya mauaji ya kiholela, hiyo shida ni nini? Na je, tutaitoaje hiyo shida? Tutaitoa kwa kuweza kukurubia serikali, ndivyo tutakuwa tumetoa hiyo shida. Kwa sababu mfano, shida mbili kuu. Ya kwanza ni corruption. Hivi ODM inakimbilia kule ili ikiwa karibu itatengeneza barabara sawasawa na Kiambu, kwa sababu wao ndio ambao walikuwa wanapata access ya kuweza kutengeneza barabara kwao. Kwa ni wakati wetu sisi nasi tuwe kwa serikali tutengeneze nini kwetu kwa ajili ya watu wetu, ndivyo wapate barabara, wapate madawa. Lakini je, ndio shida halisi ya Kenya inatuaffect wa Kenya wote kama at large? Kwa kukosa kuwa karibu na serikali ndio shida ambayo inatuacha hatupate haya mazuri. Vipi unalionaje swala la corruption? Litaondolewa kwa kuiongelea serikali? Asante.
Asante sana bwana Msimamo. Nadhani umeuliza swali nyeti sana na unastahili kupewa jibu. Mmoja makosa tunafanya kwanza sisi kama Wakenya, tunachagua wale watu ambao tumejua hawajui ni kwa nini tunawatuma pale bungeni. Tunawachagua wahalifu, tunawachagua wezi na wafisadi. Halafu tunatarajia watu kama hawa wataenda waketi pale bungeni na wajadili mjadala ambao unaenda kupigana na ufisadi, ila hali hao wenyewe ni fisadi. Baadaye lalama hizi zote tunakuja tunamwekea rais. Rais mwenyewe hana koti lake, hana jela lake ambao atakuja aseme wewe ni mfisadi, wacha nikushike. Akikuchukua baada ya kupeleka pale kotini, na watatumia sheria zile zile zilizotungwa na hawa wafisadi pale bungeni. Sasa sisi wenyewe wapiga kura ndio shida. Nikisikia ndugu yangu Joseph sasa hivi ananiambia sisi tuachane na kuunga mkono huu serikali ambao wengi wa Wakenya, mimi sikuuchagua, waliuchagua. Alafu kwa wale wenye wanataka tutoke kwa serikali ya Uhuru, tukiwauliza option nyingine ni gani, wanatuambia option nyingine ni ile mrengo unaoongozwa na Gachagua. Kwani sisi ni wazimu? Nikikuja kwa mtu kama gavana wangu ambao mnasema alizungumza vizuri, jana niliweza kusikiza akizungumza pale NTV, which I can say with all due respect, I found my governor's remarks as unfortunate, dishonest, and maybe uninspiring. James Rengo told us that if ODM works with UDA, ODM is going to be weakened and will be pushed to be a Luo Nyanza political party. He forgot that ODM worked with the Jubilee. So it means if ODM works with Jubilee, it becomes a regional party, it becomes a nationwide party. But if it works with UDA, it becomes a Luo party. So I don't know if today ODM says we are now not working with the UDA, then we are going to see people from Nyeri, Kiambu, I'll use those as because those are the places where ODM doesn't have majority of followers. We are going to see a mass moving from those Mount Kenya regions and joining ODM, so ODM becomes a national party. So that is being insincere. That is selective thinking. I don't have a problem with removing William Ruto. I did not vote for him. And the only thing that is going to make me to vote for him is that we don't have an alternative. The option that we're being given is worse. And I don't see any option coming before.
Who's giving you the position leo na bwana?
Sorry?
Walikuambia Gachagua anasimama urais?
Hawajaniambia hata
United
kama ni
Organization
Gachagua
walikuambia
asimame
Gachagua
urais.
anasimama urais, ndio maana
Kwa
kama
siasa
hawajakuambia
kuna wale wa
unachukia kitu
kusimama.
ambacho hakipo.
Si ngoja nimalize.
Pili, unachukia mtu mnaweka hiyo ndio narrative. Hatuwezi support Wamnyoro. Alikwambia Wamnyoro anasimama urais. Je, kuna kiongozi yeyote wa United Opposition alisema kwamba Gachagua yuko kwa ballot? Ndio maana leo Nyabaya hutaki kumsupport Wamnyoro kwa sababu anasimama hapo. Ndio maana unaungana na Ruto kwa sababu ya Gachagua, kwa sababu hiyo ndio sababu natuambia hapa. Na kama ni hivyo ni kwamba je, mnaenda katika siasa ya kulipiza kisasi badala ya kutoa suluhu ambayo inatusumbua kama taifa?
Nitakujibu vilivyo. Ilipofika wakati wa 2002, wakati tulikuwa tunaenda uchaguzi na wewe mwenyewe tulikuwa na wewe mrengo mmoja, kunao wale walisema hawezi wakapigia Raila Odinga kura. Wakasema wangempigia Raila Odinga kura angekuwa amekuja mwenyewe, lakini hawezi kampigia Raila Odinga kura kwa sababu Raila Odinga ni puppet wa Uhuru Kenyatta. Raila akipata
ni wananchi ni viongozi waliosema hayo. Ni wananchi ama ni viongozi?
Nataka kujibu, nataka usikize kwa makini kwanza ndugu. Wakasema hivi, Raila akipata ule uongozi sio atakuwa anaongoza, bali atakuwa ni kinyangarika ambaye atakuwa anaelekezwa na Uhuru Kenyatta. Hawakukosea yenyewe wakati unapotafuta kura. Sasa hivi wacha mtu asikudanganye. Kalonzo leo hii akisimama ataambiwa sisi naenda kupatia zile kura za Mount Kenya.
Swali langu Nyabaya, swali ni dogo kwangu. Ni mwananchi wa Mlima ndio alizungumza kwamba simuungi Raila Odinga ama aliozungumza ni kiongozi? Maana kama ni mwananchi wa Mlima sawa, lakini kama ni kiongozi walisema hatutamuunga huyu, sawa sawa. Na kuna jina sasa hivi wanasema hatutaenda kwa hatutaacha broad based government, ni sawa sawa. Hao ni wanasiasa. Lakini je, mbona tunachukulia chuki watu wa Mlima ambao hawajazungumza kwamba hawatamtilia baba kura? Hao ni wananchi wa Mlima, waliozungumza ni viongozi. Mbona mnachukua chuki za kiongozi mmoja kwa wengi?
Wacha nikuulize,
ili hadi nataka niulize kabisa, nikimalizia Nyabaya, tulikuwa na wewe 2022, nini kilimnyima Raila Odinga ushindi?
Allow me to give Miguda also a
nini kilimnyima? Je, ni watu wa Mlima ama ni viongozi wa Mlima ama ni system kwa ABC?
Yes.
System leaders have got an influence. So if you're a leader, you give direction, and those people who believe in you will follow that direction.
Host, one thing I want to say before you give me good, I just want to correct Leo and ask him, because he has said that I voted for William Ruto. I want to ask him if you are with him, if he know if I voted. You know, I've seen Leo is a tribal guy.
No, I didn't say that, bro. I said,
you said that, bro. You said that that's what will be Ruto. Who are you saying about that? You are talking about you. Because you are only the panel. So that's the question. That's why I'm telling you. Leo, kama hujajua mtu vizuri au unijui mimi tumepatana kwa hizi mambo za mtandao.
Nimesema majority voted for Ruto. Me, I didn't vote for Ruto. Majority not you.
That's why I'm telling you, Leo. You need to learn to listen. You know, you come here and you try to twist things and bring other topics even that were not being discussed here. Umekuja ukaanza hata kusema mambo ya 2002 and saying how they said na Raila Bili alifanywa. We are talking about things that happened in a funeral. You have twisted them, all of them. Now they have become things that we are talking about, things who are talked about the past. You have talked about Gachagua. I don't know why you have a problem with the Mount Kenya people, because this is the second time I'm hearing you saying Nyeri and Kiambu. I don't know. There've been people who have been voting Raila from Nyeri and Kiambu. I am one person from Kirinyaga and I voted for Baba in 2022. So I don't understand with this. I feel you are somehow, your mind is fixated on some things. And I think these are things that are always talked kule kwa kijiji, which are always fixated that ukiona mtu akona jina fulani, he supports kind of stuff. Brother, I'm one of a person who never even supported Gachagua. And even till now, I have a very heavy heart with him. But one thing I cannot do is that I cannot come and lie to you. If things are not going well, they are not going well in the country. And I need to speak it out. That is one thing that I'm going to do. So when you see us, when we are speaking against the government, people are going to call us, I don't know, Gachagua Mos or what. But even Muslimo was asking a very good question. Who has told you they are going to be the presidential candidate? You are just speaking out of malice. Thank you, Brother Marco Bura.
Thank you, Marco Bura. Only 1 minute. Thank you, bro, for the correction. And of course, you did not get me. I'm sorry if I said you voted for Ruto. And I just said majority voted for Ruto. The number two, Musmamo have also raised concern that these people have not said what we are going to be. So I'm saying right now, since there is no option, so I have to have a stand actually. There is no option right now. The only option that is there is William Ruto. So why do you blame me for supporting the only option that is available? Really, is it? But I can support the reasons why I'm supporting Ruto. I can defend it evidentially.
Wewe unataka mwelekeo wa usema una hamu kujua nani atasimama kwa opposition, tuambie hapo. Lakini ukija hapa kutufagilia kwamba Ruto asibandikwe lawama maana yeye ni rais, lawama itakuwa kwake kwa sababu yeye ndio symbol ya taifa. Lawama itakuwa kwake. Mauaji yakitokea kama hivi unataka majibu. Maana ni haki yetu kudemand hayo majibu kutoka kwa uongozi. Na ni nani atatuwakilisha pale? Ni sauti za wale viongozi ambao tumewatoa kusimama kwenye haki, kuzungumza kile kitu kipo. Sasa lawama ukisema tumfagilie, tumuondolee uchafu kwamba yeye ndio option amebaki sasa, maana hakuna option nyingine. Unatudanganya viongozi watele katika hili taifa wenye nia safi. Na tunawakosa katika hizi kauli kama zako. Ni nini kinakusaharulisha Nyabaya tukiwa na wewe? Between Ruto and Uhuru, nani amecontribute zaidi 2002 general election? Nani alisimama katika watu wawili na baba ama na ODM? Leo unarudi hapo unatudanganya. Hapo unatuondolea makosa na uchafu kwa yale yote ambao wizi wa kura uliofanyika ukiwa hapa. Na hujapata suluhu. Tusiyazungumzie hayo, tumsuondolee mtu uchafu na tunauona. Shida ya Kenya, we are lacking good governance. But how are we going to remove that good governance? Ni mimi leo, ni mimi na wewe leo na mwingine. Kutakmini hawa viongozi si ushabiki unaotuleta hapa na siasa ya kulipiza visasi kwamba madamu nasimamisha fulani sisi hatuko hapo. Maana yeye alisema haungi baba mkono. Itatusaidia na wapi kama taifa? Ndio maana ODM tabaki Jaluo Nyanza kwa sababu mizizi ambayo ameikita mzee ilikuwa ni ya taifa. Sasa hivi chama kinapelekwa kusiko na hawa walioachiwa. Leo unakuja hapo unatusafishia makosa kwamba rais hana lawama. Mwanzo alikuwa wanamzungumziaje na hakuwepo. Angekuwa pale. Kulikuwa na representative wake, speaker wa bunge alikuwa pale. Kulikuwa na prime minister na cabinet minister alikuwa pale. Na ana haki ya kuchukua ujumbe. Na sidhani kama mwaliko huo pia hajapewa wala amekatazwa kufika hapo kwa kiongozi. You know? Let's call a spade a spade. Hii narrative mnatuletea, hakuna jamii itaungana hii narrative mko na. Let me tell you the truth. Hata hii pwani ambayo mnategemea nasema ni ngome ya ODM ndio mnaikosa mazima. Huyu ambaye ameyazungumza, huyu kasa ambaye ameyazungumza leo hapo sasa. Kumbuka kuna kobe hivyo huku pwani, kuna kobe na kuna kasa. Ni kufundia haya maneno. Na wengi ni kobe. Kasa ni kidogo tu, wako hapo kisiwani tu. Ndio ambacho unafikiria labda hii pwani yote mmeteka. Never not. We need good governance. But how are we going to get that good governance? Kwa sababu ndio ambao tumekosa. Corruption hii tunaiona kwa macho. Alafu nasema tunaendea huko kwenye corruption. Na nyinyi pia nanyi mkaibe. Asante.
Nipe Miguda nafasi pia azungumze kidogo ndio
hataki kujitetea. Sawa, wacha tumpatie nafasi. Nataka kuelimisha ndugu yangu msimamo kidogo tu.
Miguda.
Unajua si ati siwezi jitetea. Mimi ni noma, usinione hivi. I'm just giving you time because I respect I respect what we call opinion, and also I believe that you have your time, but also don't overdo. If you go beyond time taukata. But hiyo ndio maneno iko hapo. Makubura, me I want to stick to the topic. I'm not interested in what people are bringing in. Ask me the question which I'm supposed to respond to kindly.
Okay. You can give us your take on the comments of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta saying that I'm not retired, but being retired does not mean you can poke me in the eyes. If you do, I will respond. And for the first time, you're seeing the former president, coming out to give his view on the accusations that have always been directed to him. And you also say that he has no interest, according to his statement. What are your views? Ndio baadaye leo atamaliza hayo maswali yameulizwa ya mwisho.
Okay, leo habari yako leo, karibu kwa show.
Nzuri sana.
Utaongea
Hata
utaongea sana.
Nimeona Eric pale kwa comment section, hata akitaka
Eric pia
kuingia
anaweza ingia kwa comment section. Sawa, asante Makuboresha sasa hivi. Mimi nilikuwa nasema ni vile tolerance. I respect tolerance so that when you are speaking, I give you a time you speak. So even me, I expect that when I'm speaking, kindly do not interrupt me because I never interrupted you. So Makubura was saying that in terms of today's politics, when Uhuru Kenyatta came to the public for a bit long time, first there have been rumors, or there have been people speculating that Uhuru Kenyatta want to purchase ODM. And this one came late, when earlier there were people who were saying that actually there were people accusing Jonathan Wanga to have wanted to sell ODM to William Ruto. But now they have taken time to come to reality, and now sometimes they said, okay, now they said many things. No, we never wanted to sell ODM, blah, blah, blah. So of late they have come with a new twist that actually even Uhuru is interested in ODM, want to sell ODM. So it was by chance that Uhuru had to respond to them, and that's what Uhuru did. According to me, that is proper in politics, and also sometimes you need to substantiate whatever you are saying, because like I've said before, if Uhuru wanted to sell or buy ODM or Ruto, who benefit when ODM is sold? That's what we want to discuss, we should focus on. Is Uhuru benefiting when ODM is sold to him, or Ruto benefit? But the question I've been asking all over time, now, Uhuru has purchased ODM or Ruto. So what? Wakishanunua ODM sasa nini? What are they going to do with the ODM after buying it? Because to me, ODM is the people, not Junet, not Wanga. ODM is not Sifuna or the person. Because today Sifuna is SG, tomorrow someone else can be SG. So are you going to buy the all people, the entire people in ODM, now you're taking them to Uhuru or Ruto? That's the question I'm asking myself. How are you going to buy all these people? You take everybody from ODM to Uhuru or Ruto. But another thing, Uhuru talked about multiple democracy. That's why I tend to believe him, because Ruto has been quiet about multiple democracy. In fact, I gave you example. I think I was low by that time. In 2017, go and look at those clips when Ruto was in mainstream media. Ruto advocated for two parties in Kenya. He said that, well, let's have one party that forms government and the other one in opposition, so that the opposition can prepare, they can take over from the government anytime we go for election. So we end up with two parties. So you're either in the party that forms government or in the party in the opposition. That has been Ruto's proposal in 2017. Then earlier, Ruto actually was a champion for Jubilee formation, whereby he advised the Mount Kenya people to fold of their political parties and form one political party, Jubilee. Jubilee was not a coalition. Jubilee is a party which was formed by so many political parties to face the NASA by that time. But in NASA, we said, no, as we will not fold our political, we have what we call coalition, whatever party. Ruto has been championing for this thing for quite a long time, that we have single party or two parties in the country. That is evident. And when Uhuru responds today, Uhuru is also trying to emphasize on the multi-party democracy, that we should have a multi-party democracy country because we fought for it. It is envisaged in the constitution, and the future of this country, it is coalition, no single party state. We were not there. Maybe some people were there, but me, I was not there. I was given a story that single party state, when Moi was there as a president, it was not a good thing, whereby most of the decisions were being made by the single party. We should have the party because of the diversity of the nature of the country. So me, I just want to state that it is proper for, like me, I'm an advocate and a champion for multi-party democracy, that we should not allow be it Uhuru or Ruto to take over from ODM. ODM should remain strong, just like another political party. But the suspect was the history of killing political parties is William Ruto, not Uhuru Kenyatta. That is from the historical perspective of my analysis. Marco Bura, back to you.
Marco Bura, know the questions I was asked. I don't want to forget.
Yeah. So I'll give you a chance. Leo, you can finish with the questions
2 minutes.
before I get to
2
Joseph.
minutes. Yeah, Miguda, greetings and thank you so much. And also, Msumama, of course, I did appreciate and acknowledge the presence of all the panelists. I just want to address some 3 issues. The first issue, I'll just start with the latest that you've talked about. I heard Uhuru addressing multi-party democracy. Guys, Speaker Emeritus told you one thing, that the problem that is ailing Kenyan politics is being insincere. And anybody who thinks that Uhuru is sincere when he was addressing multi-party democracy should go and check how Jubilee Party was formed. Uhuru killed over 30 political parties to form one vehicle called Jubilee Party for one specific reason: control. The only time he was not able to kill the parties is when he was retiring, and because ODM has never believed in killing your party to join another party. I think from the lessons Raila learned when he killed his, was it LDP to join KANU? So Uhuru is the least person who is expected to address us as far as multi-party democracy is concerned, because he's one gentleman who killed the political parties to form a Jubilee Party. He should be the last person to remind Ruto of what to do, because some of the problems that Ruto is sorting, or some of the problems that Kenyans are having, like the debts and everything, were incurred when he was the president. So let other people tell Ruto what to do, people who've not been in that seat. But a driver who did not drive us to the right place is the least to tell us the direction that we should be driving in. He should just accept that he retired, then let him relax. On the issue of the CS,
Leo, are you there? I think I don't know whether you have a problem with the internet or what. But before you come, allow me to emphasize that just like I've written over there, I request that let's not get tribal in our views or comments, because the bigger reason why we have this platform is just to have a conversation, or a conversation that is all geared towards the betterment of our country. We are here to give our views. Of course, the views should be those views which are assisting every Kenyan wherever they are. They should be views which are uniting. They should be views which are accommodative. They should be views that are respectful. We have a country to build. We have a country to take care of course. This country belongs to us, and whether you're on this, whichever side, whether you're in the central, northern, southern, or whichever part that you are in, let us maintain the love, let us maintain respect, because it is the best thing that we should do. So I request again, let our comments not, let the comments be comments which are accommodative. Let's not get tribal. Let's not get in. Let's not be abusive. That is my request to our commentators. So Leo, you can.
Oh, sorry,
finish.
sorry. I dropped. I think my charge was. Oh, it did notify me. Second on the CS, all these people who were campaigning, when we were in Azimio, we wanted to form a government so that we can be able to perform. So I will really feel bad if somebody like Kambadi or somebody like Oparanya or somebody like Sifuna will be given an opportunity to become a CS, then he fails to take that responsibility and tell Kenya that, you know, me, I cannot become a CS in Ruto's government. I'm waiting to form my government. If you really want to serve this country and an opportunity has been availed to you, because this country belongs to us, after the elections, these people earn salaries from our taxes. If I believe that I can be able to transform a specific ministry, then you give me that opportunity. Then I say, you see, I cannot join your government. I'm waiting for mine. Who tells you you're going to form a government? So a leader should be ready to lead when opportunity arises. So when we saw people like Mbadi and the Johos being given that opportunity, so it is upon them to prove that. When we were campaigning as Azimio, we said we'll become good cabinet secretaries. Now we have that responsibility. Let me work for you so that when it comes to 2027, Kenyans will see the need that, oh, had we elected the Azimio, then they would have done that. So you want to expect somebody like Mbadi now to refuse taking that opportunity that you're waiting for your own government. Then that is somebody who doesn't know what they want. And I normally feel that this kind of attack is unwarranted. I hear people like Sifuna, my able Secretary General, when he stands, he will always be talking of Mbadi, talking of Opiyo Wandayi, forgetting that I've never heard him talking about of this guy called Oparanya, who was also equally appointed with Mbadi and the rest. I've never heard him talking about those guys from the coast. I've never heard him talking of the unseen, invisible Kabogos and the Mutai Kagwes, who also came from the Jubilee, Uhuru's party, and joined Ruto. So when they talk of people joining Ruto's government, they will be talking of Mbadi and Wandayi joining Ruto's government, but they're forgetting their people also came from Jubilee. This Jubilee that wants to give as a candidate in the name of, they've not yet decided, so I don't want to say the name of Matiang'i, has got its members who joined Ruto's government. So really, are these people being sincere? So when we come here to defend our members who are in the broad-based government, sometimes we feel they are not attacking their personalities. They are not sincere. They are attacking our community. They are attacking my community. Why can't they attack Kabogo? And Kabogo, why can't they attack Mutai Nguni, who belongs to a party that they want to support to take power out of William Ruto? So why would we send Mbadi to help Ruto, then Mbadi goes there to sabotage Ruto? How will he come to us and tell us that, you see, we want to form a government and I'll be a cabinet secretary if he could not be able to work when he was given an opportunity? The government does not belong to Ruto. The government belongs to the people of Kenya. So let us stop being insincere. If we have a problem with Mbadi, we have a problem with his community, the Suba, we have a problem with the lawyers who gave Opiyo Wandayi, or the half Luos who gave Opiyo Wandayi, then we should face it. Let us not pretend that we are fighting those people who joined the broad-based government. Yet our communities are having people in those government and we don't even hold them accountable. The parliament is failing. Who is heading that parliament? Moses Wetangula. You don't hear Sifuna coming to shout at Moses Wetangula. Nairobi is not working. Sifuna is the governor of Nairobi, a senate of Nairobi. I've even seen him, even talking, summoning this gentleman called Sakaja to come and tell us why Nairobi is not working. So these politicians are being insincere. 2027, there is no way somebody from Goasi will be able to oppose William Ruto, yet they are able to see that, you see, Mbadi is working for this government. How do you expect Mbadi now to go and start opposing William Ruto and tell his villagers that, you see, don't elect William Ruto? Yet he has been appointed by William Ruto to do these things that his people want him to do. So let us be sincere. As far as we are, where we are, we cannot oppose William Ruto, because if given us that chance to go and come and tell me, you've been complaining, I don't know how to do this, come and now tell me how I can be able to do it. So the people opposing Ruto, even from today, I came to realize in that meeting, there are not many. Even the ones in Western that people keep on telling us, the rebels are only Sifuna, our deputy chairman Ososi, and Halwali. Those are the only people who are saying one term. But the rest, they know where the heart of the citizens are. As long as our services are being delivered, we are not going to be taken back to the street politics, politics of lamentation, politics of taking our kids and sons and daughters to the streets to be tear gassed and be beaten by bullets and to be arrested and such kind of things. We are going to engage on politics that is going to address the needs of our people. We are not going to engage in politics of people who've been senators and they've not even sponsored a specific bill to protect us, yet he's telling us that the president took a mandate to protect the entire country. How many bills have Boni Halwale sponsored in the Senate that is protecting the people of Kakamega, including the interests that they have there in the gold, in the mining? Have he sponsored any bill that is going to ensure that the people of Kakamega, the ones who benefit from the gold mines, have been found there? So these are the kind of leaders that you want us to listen to. So moving forward, even those ones who are in ODM, who only knows how to dance on the public rallies and shout and lead mandamanos and come up with slogans like Tibi Mtialala, we are going to tell them to step aside. We want sober people who can sit on the table and discuss how are we going to have the fish cages in Lake Victoria? How are you going to have an expansion of the lakefront there in Homa Bay? How are you going to have this road that goes to Orengo's home that has never been tarmacked, despite him boasting how he's been in politics during the time of Jaramogi? He's been in the politics at the time of Raila, and now he wants to be in the politics at the time of Winnie Odinga, waiting for Fidel's son also to be consulting him. No, we are not going to allow that.
Okay, thank you so much, Leo, for giving us your take, and I'll get to Joseph. Joseph, and I'll ask you the same questions that I did ask Miguda about the comments of the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, saying that I am tired, but being tired does not mean you can poke me in the eyes. If you do, I will respond. Of course, he was doing, this was a direct counter to critics who accused him of meddling in succession politics, and specifically the ODM politics, where he's been accused of, wanting to buy the party and maybe creating confusion within the ODM party. But we saw Sifuna coming out to offer an apology on behalf of those people who have made such kind of comments. What is your view, Joseph, on the comments of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and what is your take? Do you think him being accused of, meddling in ODM, in ODM is something to go by, Joseph?
Makobura, thank you for your questions. Everybody comes here to hear his views, and everybody's views is the way he sees it fit for him. You cannot force anything on me if I don't see it as right. So the views that have been aired here, everybody has a right, and everybody has a view. If you see the government is doing something for you, it's well and okay. You cannot come and say no, they are not doing. It's not helping. The comments that were made by the former president today, there were comments which were redirected to the people who have been saying that he's trying to buy ODM. And I think for quite a while you have seen him quiet. He has not been talking. And today he needed to answer those rumors, because they are rumors. I don't know if they are true, because I don't know. I have not heard of anything, of any meetings that have been met. There was a meeting that was met in Grigoris. I've never had a meeting that was met by Uhuru Kenyatta and Sifuna in a certain place. I don't know if it is true, or even if it is true, he's trying to buy ODM. There is a question which was asked by Buddha: who is the better for the betterment of who? That is the question we are supposed to be asking ourselves. So the comments that were made, it was a direct retaliation from the people who are trying to attack him. This is not the first time that Uhuru is being attacked by the people who are in the Kenya Kwanza government, and the people who have recently joined the broad-based government. This, I think, is now almost the fourth time. The first one, you remember that Uhuru was being abused by his own kinsmen and his own people from his region, the likes of Akina Gachagua and the other members of parliament in Mount Kenya, because of a decision he made, and a decision also I made, because I've been seen being accused that I supported William Ruto, but I'm going to tell somebody I don't even need to answer myself too much. You can go and look at the clips. I've not been new to this. I've not been a political commentator just yesterday. I've been there even in the 2022. You can go and check my clips. We were discussing in Mtembei TV quite a while. So that one I don't need even to answer. It is there in the domain. So me coming back to Uhuru Kenyatta, he needed to answer because you cannot be, you are being accused in the political scene. When somebody comes and make an accusation about you, most of the time, people need to react back and say, was it true? Is it what is happening? Because when you come and say something, it is going to be perceived as the truth if there is no response to it. I think sometimes Uhuru Kenyatta tried to keep quiet and not meddle, but I think this one got him so much and he tried to answer it. So I think it is going to be made a mountain. It's going to be made a hill. A hill is going to be made a mountain out of this. So it's not obscene. You have seen these things happening from 2022 till now, and you hear the likes of Akina Farouk saying they are going to cut his, I don't know, retirement funds. It has been there. So this is political war, which is there, and it must happen. But some things I want to answer very quickly is, I heard my brother Leo saying that there is CSs who don't work from Mount Kenya, and he does not, the likes of Kabogo and Mutahi, and he hears only people talking about Babi and the ones who are coming from ODM. I talk about Kabogo all the time. He's an incompetent CS. Mutai Kagwe is an incompetent person. He did incompetency when he was in the Ministry of Health. I cannot support it as long as those CSs, they don't even help me so much because they are working for their own pockets. Most of them, you have seen what they do when they are CSs. They work for their own pockets. And if you are waiting for a whole CS to do anything for you in your village, I think you might as well change your views about what is perceived. Already, if we can say the CSs that are in Ruto's government, most of them, even if we look, if not most of them, a higher number is coming from Mount Kenya, and those guys never help us in anything. They have never brought any laws about tea, about coffee. We don't hear anything from them. So being a person who is holding, even we had another one who was holding the Ministry of Finance, and there's nothing that we felt that in our place there, that is the one who is holding the docket. The only thing that we need in the country is only one thing: vote for the right people in your county, vote for the right people in the National Assembly who are going to be able to articulate your issues. If you don't vote for these right people in these right places, even if you keep on shouting to the people who are being kept there, it's just nonsense, because there is nothing they are going to do for you if the leaders there down, they are not helping you in anything. And I've seen most of the leaders. I don't like to talk about all the areas I've not gone, but I know the areas that I know. And most of them, even in my region where I come from, some of the MPs, they are just yapping MPs. They have done totally nothing in their constituencies. And if you don't do any work in your constituency, the voters are going to wait for you. That is what has been happening in my region, the way I come from. Most of the people don't come back after elections. Why don't they come back? Because people have seen they don't do work for them. But those people who work for them, they are not even rewarded. There is nobody who even stands and opposes them. I gave an example of Didi Nyoro. Didi Nyoro 2022 was unopposed. Do you think that guy with the work and transformation he has been doing in Kiharu, he'll be having any opposition from him? We look at the people of the governorship of Akina Wamatanga. If you don't vote for these people, the right people for your governorship, don't come here and complain and start saying that the government what. But as long as there are other things that are dealing with the national government, I need to talk about them. Things like Kenyatta Hospital is falling. It is falling, it is crumbling. I need to talk about it. That is the only referral hospital in Kenya. It is falling down. That thing we need to talk about. Even as so, I'm going to talk about my region. When I get sick, I need to be referred to if it is a referral, I need to go to Kenyatta Hospital. What if I go there and I find there is no medicine? There is no good health care. That it means I feel so shortchanged that as the people who are there, the leaders, because Kenyatta is not being managed by a governor. It is being managed by the national government. So I need to ask the right relevant authorities. I need to ask the Ministry of Health, what are you doing? I always tend to ask all these ministries. I need to ask CS Carbon. I have not received good fertilizer for my farm. Why is this not coming so? Because there's things I cannot ask my governor. I cannot go and ask my governor, why are we not receiving fertilizer? But there's things like roads and other things that are amenities that are found in the county that you need to ask your governor. If your governor is not working, just go and take him off in the next election and put a governor who is going to work. So we can keep on numbering here about, oh, who did what, who did this. But as long as you're still going to vote the same people in the same county, the same people who don't do work for you, you're going to come and still say here we are marginalized or we don't get funds. Right now, we don't have a Kikuyu in the presidency. Right now, we have a person coming from the Rift Valley. But when I see some of the governors in my region working, I'm so amazed because they don't need help from the government. You don't hear them saying, which day have you ever heard the governor from Kiambu or the governor from Murang'a saying that I'm supporting this government so that they bring me developments in my county? You never hear them talking about that. They do the work that is fit for them. And if we don't get these things straight, even if we say we are going to vote a president so that by the way, the constitution stipulates it clearly. Development is supposed to be done equally in the whole of Kenya. Even though Mount Kenya is developed or even the things they need, even though they always say that it was taken, money was taken there, they need to do equal development in everywhere in every corner of this country. And if those people feel aggrieved by what the government is doing, they need to speak up. So everybody needs to speak up. There is no day that Uhuru Kenyatta himself brought me or he came and said in my region that we are going to have one factory that is going to be employing our people. People are still hustling for themselves. So when we come here we talk about issues that are affecting our country. And the first things that are affecting our country is the major things that are the software of the country. If we don't talk about them, we are doomed. We need to talk about education. Education is falling. You hear some JSS students that girls were called to boys' schools. How can even that be? That they are being called to attend boys' school. That is the school they have been called for. You are hearing teachers, the head teachers are being told they don't have computation. They are waiting for money.
So many people are watching this thing, Bana. You know, we cannot say education is falling because a girl has been called in a boys' school. Those are technical
brother,
errors.
I told you let me speak. You don't speak when you're speaking. I don't speak when you're speaking. Why you like to interfere when I'm talking? Let me finish, then you talk.
Let us not be petty. That is the
so I don't talk about the issue, brother. Leo, I told you what is feeling good for you. Let it be good for you. What I'm feeling bad for me, let me take it. I'm here to commentate on what I know. I'm here to talk on what I know.
We want our governors to stop working and be shouting at Ruto.
So what you mean? You mean a girl should be called to a boys' school? That is what you mean.
Our governors are also going to work. We are not going to allow them to go and.
So what you mean? Do you mean a girl should be called to a boys' school? That is what you mean?
There is a place called
serious with what you're saying?
If I write my name as Leo Nyabaya and in gender I wrote female instead of male.
So am I talking about one person who was called to a boys' school?
That doesn't mean
do you think I'm talking about one person who was called to a boys' school?
The principals at school, bro.
So you did not even let me finish, my friend. Let me finish. I did not finish. You came and jumped in. Let's jump in. Brother, sometimes, unajua Marco Bura, this guy is talking on when I'm talking. Ama aongee ni nyamaze.
Continue, Joseph.
He likes talking when I'm talking. He does not keep quiet. So I'm saying, I was not even finished. I was talking about capitation for schools. Right now, even I heard Ruto talking about capitation today. The head teachers are there complaining. I have a wife who is a teacher. Do you think I don't know about these things? The schools are drained. They don't have funds. This did not happen today, even last term. That term, it was problems as they were coming to close. Even some of the schools closed early. They don't have capitation for any finances in the school.
We have a Kenyatta hospital there. What do I need to tell you? Or don't you know what's the news? They have been showing a Kenyatta hospital without medicine. Patients even they cannot be fed well. And we are talking about housing. And and I'm talking about the software of the country, education. We are talking about health. We are talking about economy. Is the economy doing well? Are people feeling well in their pockets? I've been watching the news. People are saying this Christmas has been a very horrifying Christmas. People don't have money in their pockets. So if it is good for you, brother, it's good for you. Don't come to speak on the whole of everybody. Some of them are feeling the way I'm feeling. So if some of them are feeling the way you are feeling, it's okay. But me, I'm speaking on behalf of those people who are feeling the way I'm feeling. It's not right. This government is doing things haphazardly. The things that are supposed to be done that are supposed to be forefront, they're the ones which are being done at the behind. We are bringing things which are supposed to be done after we have sorted out all these issues. This guy came and told us that he's going to streamline the economy when he becomes the president, that everything is going to be in order. Right now, food prices are escalating. Let us see by next month what will be the cost of food. Those are the things we are trying to talk about. Those are the things that you are saying, bread and butter. Things that are feeling deep inside the Mwananchi himself. So when I come here talking, it's not that I talk just happy in the way I want. These are things I have interacted with them. I know they are happening. If you don't know about them, you need to ask about the people who are in the ground. They tell you. Maybe they are not happening in the places where you are. Maybe you have been given some incentives by somebody or the government. Ours, I have not received anything. And the people who I stay with among us, they are telling me how it is. And most when you are businessmen, you can feel the pain and the pinch in the pocket when you are doing business in this country. So, and it's not about that. Even businesses themselves, they are falling. How many investors are running from the country? How many? How many factories have closed up in Thika itself? How many factories? Just go and check. Instead of talking about us reviving the factories which are pan paper and Mumias and Zoya Sugar, we are talking about us building houses. It's a fallacy that I've never seen we are trying to say Singapore. I've never seen a country going that way, that we are saying that we are building houses so that we become a first world country. When you want to build a country to become a first world, you need to major in manufacturing and industries. Just go and look at all the countries that are there, if they have dealt with housing first, and they will tell you the truth. Thank you, Makabura.
Makabura, just allow me to clarify some things. Don't just say you are speaking emotionally and you are not being factual. And I don't know if I should pick from the last point that you're talking of building houses and this thing called capitalization. I have a fee structure with me. I don't know. I'm trying to share my screen. Makobura, I don't know if I can share it with you so that you put it on the screen. You've said good. Your wife is a teacher. For information, I'm a teacher. And I always like people who are factual. Where somebody spoke of capitation, I have a fee structure for a senior school. I'll try if I'll be able to share the screen. If I'll not be able to share the screen, I'll share with you, Makubura. You will be able to share it. This is a fee structure for 2025. This is a senior school with borders. So the tuition fee, that is the teaching, learning, and material, is nil. That one has been capitation. It has been, the government is paying fully. Medical insurance activity fee is nil. The students are only paying for the boarding equipment, maintenance, and other vote heads, which is totaling to 20,000 first term, 13,000 second term, third term 7,000, a total of 40,335. So when somebody comes here to tell you capitation, they are talking or just mentioning the word capitation which they don't even understand. Capitation is there. Actually, during Uhuru's time, the capitation was 22,000. That is why those people who are in day school were paying less than 10,000. That amount people are paying in day school is based on where the school is. If your school is in a place like my place, you'll find that it is low because the cost of food, you're only paying for the food and such kind of things. But if your school is in a place like in Nairobi where the cost of food is high, ilikuwa juu. And if your school is in a place like Murang'a where food is easily available, it should be cheaper. And the government was pleading 32,000, of which some of it was always not being paid. But since this government got into power, somebody will be able to tell you that this money has always been delivered to the school. So if the school management is the one that is not maybe using this money, well, actually they should be using it, we need to blame them. I've seen a fee structure, capitation fee is there. It has been released and the parents are only paying for boarding. Unless you have a fee structure or you want to challenge that, I like people who come up with challenges. You've talked of things like the hospital. It's good you've accepted that, since all those circles, we've only been having one referral hospital, which is Kenyatta. But I'm also glad to inform you that currently, courtesy of President William Ruto, the Kisumu Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was also elevated to a referral hospital, a similar level. So moving next time, those people from Nyanza and Western will not be coming to Nairobi. And also to remind you, we also have another referral hospital that courtesy of Moi, called the one in Eldoret, Moi Teaching. And he also tried another level 6 in Mombasa. So those people who thought that Kenyatta Hospital, which is close, the proximity is close to specific region, those ones who will be traveling 8 hours will die on the road. We are sorry. William Ruto have done something there in Kisumu. And lastly, from what I picked today, Uhuru is retired president. Ruto is wise. He's setting for them agenda. The other day, he set agenda for Kalonzo about 50 years of doing nothing. And Kalonzo ignorantly got into the bite and reduced it to 40 years. Yes, the other day, he set agenda that Uhuru is trying to sponsor some rebels in ODM. Uhuru foolishly joined that and responded. So one thing that I want to tell you, just a takeaway, is that Uhuru Kenyatta, this is just a message I've just been sent by somebody concerned. Uhuru Kenyatta is not interested in removing Ruto from power. He is interested in removing Luos from the government. And if the Ruto government is that bad, what are his nominees to cabinet, like Kagwe and Lee Kinyanjui, is still doing in that bad government? What are they doing in this evil government of William Ruto? Why can't he start by summoning those people and tell them that because Jubilee is going to have a candidate in the next election, leave this government so that we can be able to wait for our holy government? So Uhuru Kenyatta is not interested in removing Ruto. Number two, Uhuru Kenyatta was never interested in giving Raila power, making Raila president. He was interested in finishing his term. He wanted somebody who will help him to finish his term. So he was interested in finishing his term and removing Ruto and his people from government and enriching himself. So Ruto and his people reduced the cake. That is why Uhuru cannot get the Pandora Papers and the Panama Papers anymore. So that is his interest. And lastly, you see Sifuna today, I heard him praising Ruto. Did he realize today that is the Secretary General who should be praising Kenyatta? Did he realize today that you're supposed to thank Kenyatta for his work? So Kenyatta never paid the ODM as a party the billions that they were owed, that cash that they're supposed to be given by the Political Parties Act. And the next day, tomorrow, this money was supposed to be paid during Uhuru's government. It was never paid. If this Uhuru was good, Sifuna knows very well that he even took a case to court. And tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, he's going to start lecturing Ruto, demanding the accrued amount that was supposed to be paid by Uhuru, who today was telling you that is for multi-party democracy. So the problem you have in this country is people who are insincere. And lastly, you people want my governor, James Orengo, instead of working for us the way Wamatangi, and there is other one, Wamuranga Wabarua is working, and this lady Minji is working. You want Orengo now to be mtu wa mkono, kazi yake ni kupigia Ruto kelele na kurusha mawe while your governors are working. You people, you need to give us a break. If anybody think Ruto is not working, tell your governors, waende wafanye hiyo kazi. Upuze tutaki. Is seeing Orengo being the one leading the street politics, telling us how Ruto is bad, yet the other governors are working and cooperating with this government that is saying is bad. You Puzi tumetoka, we are not going to the streets, and we are going to stand with this bad government. As long as this bad government is going to do something that can be able to relate with us, we don't have any problem. We don't care how many billions they use to construct a railway, as long as this railway will reach Kisumu and connect us to Uganda. We don't care.
Brother Leo, that's so serious. I don't think it is right to... Leo, you're a learned man. You're a very learned man. And remember, we have a country to protect. We have a future to protect. Leo, kindly imagine if you have your kids and you say that we're in a government that just does things without really looking into the seriousness of the things that are being done. I don't think that is right to say that you don't care. Let's not, I think if you get to that point, then it means that you're now looking into politics or getting into politics with an emotional view, and that is not right. Let us just sober up and give a view that can assist anybody. Remember, we are the young people of this country, and what part of what we are doing here is not really criticizing, or it is not really being negative or fighting anybody. What we're doing here is simply giving our views, and the views that we are giving. One day, a good friend, Leo Nyabaya, in 10 years, if you sit down and you look back at Brother Benson Media and you say that we used to to give our views in a certain media, online media platform, and then you look at what you said that you don't care, I don't think it is right. And I'm just calling you back to the right line. Kindly let's just be sober enough and give right view. Let us not get into the emotional bit.
I'm guided, Makubura, and say hi to Shima. Shima is saying that the son's school closed early because the principal could not afford to buy food. We lack a lot of information. Buying food is not the role of the government, actually, or the Ministry of Education. These are some of the vote heads that lie within the school's management. So they need to hold their principal accountable. Shima, the next day you will hear that we're saying Ruto is bad, and she will go on the streets and start saying Ruto must go because the school was closed. The principal could not afford to buy school. The principal could not afford to buy school either because the parents have not paid their money for the lunch or for the supper or whatever, or the principal received the money and squandered the money. And when they are coming up with this school fee, they normally consider the market prices. And if you've been supplying food in school, you realize that if you agree that you're going to supply beans that year and 1 tin or 1 kilo at 100 shillings, even if the price skyrockets to 200, the school will just pay that agreement. If the price reduces, it is to advantage. For those people who've been supplying to schools will tell you that is normally the advantage or disadvantage. Once you make an agreement for the year, that amount is the amount that you're going to be paid. You'll have to supply everything. Bei ikishuka chini, biashara kwako. Bei ikipanda, hasara kwako. So Shima, your principal needs to be held accountable. Tafadhali usituambie sasa tuanze kupigia president kelele.
Okay, that's okay. I don't know whether I should give Ayaga or Msimamo. Msimamo, would you allow me to give Ayaga or you go first?
Wacha nizungumze leo. Mimi simu yangu imebaki 10% na sitaka hapa.
You can give your take and then Eric Ayaga will also come.
So mimi kitu ni kimoja tu. Leo umechanganyikiwa ndugu yangu, na sikutegemea hilo kwamba mnamwabudu Ruto sasa hivi kwamba Ruto asiguswe. Maana nyinyi mkipewa barabara kule tosha, barabara redi ikipita na kwenu itosha, wala hamna shida. Sisi kama nani? ODM. So tukusema ODM inakuwa ya Nyanza, inakwenda kwa Luo Nyanza, na mbaki nyinyi wachache, na mkumbuke mtagawana mara mbili hapa na hata mara tatu, kwa sababu na wale watasimama independent watakula fungu lao. Kuna nyinyi ODM ya bread based mtakula fungu lenu. Kuna wale wa ODM halisi kina Orengo nao watakula fungu lao. Kura hizo hizo za Nyanza. Jamani, katika hiyo hali, je, ndivyo mtakuwa mmesaidia mageuzi katika hili taifa? Leo ndugu yangu, ndikujua haswa kama mwana mageuzi, tunaenda mle ambapo mnatupiga. Sasa siasa hii ya sisi wote tulifanywa hivi tukafanywa vile, hakuna jamii ambayo haina mazito. The more mnasema nyinyi watu wa Nyanza, the more watu wa Pande wanaumia zaidi. So yote haya tunaweka katika kapu moja. Tunabaki mimi na wewe sasa kama wananchi, maana si wanasiasa hapa. Lipi la kutuokoa? Ni la kubaki kwa broad based government, kwa sababu sasa hivi Ruto ni mwepesi kimeupe kama pamba, na anafanya miradi, anajenga viwanja, anajenga hivi. Kisha hapo tunajisahau kwamba leo mtu huyu mmoja unamfagilia kwamba asiguswe, Kwa hivyo hata huyu dada yetu hapa ambaye anasema jamani, shule mambo si mambo, badala ya kumpa sikio kwa nini si mambo, unamwambia akamuulize principal wake, maana pesa zilitumwa huko, labda pengine ni yeye ndo akazila ama kwa mpango mwingine. Katika huu mwongozo huu unaweza libadilisha hili taifa kaka, kwa sababu sauti sasa hivi ndio hapo iliyo cover up kila kitu, ni sauti moja tu. Huyo waziri ambaye mnasema mmepewa mawaziri 4 kwa broad based government, since waingie kwa broad based government, nazauliza kuna mabadiliko gani ambayo kama taifa tumeyashuhudia? Madeni kukopwa yameisha, uchumi umeimarika, wale wana talenta ambao wamekosa masomo ya maana, wale vijana wengi wa Kenya, je, talenta zimefanywa mahesabu ili ziwe kesho zitakuwa ni ajira kwao? Kipi tumefanyishwa kirahisi kwamba kimewezeshwa haswa tunachokiona haswa machoni? Ndugu yangu, leo ni kweli msimamo wako uko hapo, lakini usitusafishie mtu kama pamba, kwa sababu sauti yake ndio imezuia yule waziri kutofanya kazi vizuri. Sauti ya huyu mmoja unayemfagilia sasa hivi namweka pamoja, ndiye amemzuia yule mjumbe pale kwenye bunge kupitisha misaada ambayo ni ya kiholela isiyokuwa na tija, na ni sharti umsikize yeye, maana yende kusema. Na hatutaishi taifa ambalo mmoja akusanye ndio atakayejua barabara iko wapi, ndivyo atume waziri kwenda pale tuonekana amekwenda huyo waziri, badala ya kwamba tunahitaji waziri ambaye amechaguliwa na tajriba ya hiyo kazi husika. Kama ni wizara ya afya, anajua masuala mazima na afya ni nini. Kama ni waziri mambo na uchumi, ni mtu amebobea katika swala hilo. Si urafiki, si kupeana vyeo kwa sababu ya tabaka ama kabila, kwamba uonekane kabila hili pia limeongezwa hapo, lakini kabila hilo ndio la kwanza kuteseka. Ndugu yangu, mimi na wewe ni kaka wenye chongo tafadhali. Kwa hiyo lazima tukuzungumza hapa, tuangalie yanayotusibu ni nini. Usitusafishie mtu atini mweupe kama pamba, kwa sababu yeye sasa hivi anafanya makubwa, anajenga level 4 hapa, level 4 pale. Tulingaliaona tangia awali. Mwaka huu ni wa 3 na mbona yaje wakati huu? Nakupiga kisofu maji. Unaona, tungealishuhudia mapema, si wakati huu. Sasa hii ni kiki, hii yote inaletwa hapa ni kiki ya kuvuka, watu waingie hapo wafanye yao, tena turudishwe pale pale square one. Nikimalizia, mimi sitaungana na mahali ambapo mimi msimamo ambapo hakujali mwananchi, na sitakubali nitumike kama kanga mwenye chongo mfukulie wenye macho, kwa kura yangu kuipoteza kusiko kwa kuuziwa matumaini kwamba tutafika Singapore, mambo yatabadilika. Haya matumaini tuliyaona hapo 2022. Tulidhania labda haswa mambo yatakuwa mazuri, lakini mwisho wa siku. Pili, sitakubaliana na kiongozi mmoja ndio amebeba uwaziri, ndio amebeba case, ndio amebeba judiciary, ndio amebeba parliament, ndio amebeba kila mahali. Na tatu, maendeleo hayafanywi, sitaona yakiedadiwa juu ya magari. Nifagilia hapa nasema huyu yuko sawa, nisiwe na maswali ya kumuuliza. Kwa hiyo kila laheri kwa wale ambao wanajiunga kwa broad based government, ni mataka yao, ni matarajio yao, lakini ndio wa kwanza kutufelisha. Pili, kiweni chama chenu wenyewe kwa mikono yenu, kwa tamaa. Sisi wengine tukiimarisha chama ambacho kitatusaidia kule mbele, itakuwa ngazi ambayo itatusaidia. Nyie mkiua, sisi tunatengeneza. Asante.
Okay, thank you. Allow me to welcome Eric. And Eric, we were just giving our general views on what was happening at Cyrus Jirongo's funeral and the comments that were made. There's some noise coming from your side. Can't you mute? Yeah, we were giving our views on the comments that were coming from the burial of Cyrus Jirongo, the comments from Sifuna, the comments from the senator of Kakamega, the comments of the former senator of Kakamega, Haniri. We saw the comments of quite a number of leaders, and most of them, especially from the ODM side, they were criticizing, of course led by Sifuna and the deputy party leader Sotsi. They were criticizing all those members of ODM who are supporting broad-based and partly are saying that they wanted to sell the party to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who was also present, and he gave his view. He said that he's not interested in such, and that in his version, he said that as much as he's being provoked, he has no interest in anything to do with the taking of a party. So those are what we are discussing here. So you can just come and give us your view as well. Kindly, I request you, Eric, let's maintain the etiquette as usual.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me. I'm on the move, so my net, I think it fluctuate kidogo as I travel towards some places. So I'm saying this, I've heard you, but what has brought me here, I will answer you, and I want just to make it clear that sometimes when somebody is giving his points, it is good to give him time. Under total silence, he speaks his mind. So hapa nimesimama na ndugu yangu Joseph. So I will be brief, as I told you, because my net will have problems. So what I'm saying is simple. To my brother, I came here because he mentioned the name Jirongo. He criticized my governor. And I want to tell him that my governor is the only governor, because lazima nitetee governor yangu who is working without going to parade himself in State House for development. Because I was in Homa Bay. Nothing is actually taking place in Homa Bay. That's why there is a fight, a spat between the governor who want to take some few development that were brought by national government to make it own, because the stadium already left at 90%, akapaka rangi, akaandika jina ya Raila. So I don't know what again Wanga has done. I don't know what economic value of tire, isipokuwa kupika picha na watu wa TikTok. The so-called housing, those are national government projects. So I don't know what else is going on in Homa Bay that governor can say in her capacity as governor. He can. You people, those markets are being built by the national government. So I don't know one thing in Homa Bay that governor can lay his hand and say it is this one. This one are doing PR. That's why they want to sell our party, and that one we will say. But Orengo, for me, Orengo have been saying the truth. They are saying Orengo has always disagreed with Raila Odinga. In 2002, Orengo disagree with Raila when he told Raila Kibaki will cheat you. Kibaki will not honor the memorandum of understanding, and they were there with Nyong'o, and they were vindicated long time ago. I don't know what people are still following Orengo with some secure. Yes, Orengo advised Raila what to do. It is Raila himself who came again and told the people of LDP by those days that Kibaki has refused to honor, and Orengo was vindicated as soon as possible. So I don't know their beef with Orengo, because Orengo is just saying the truth, and Orengo is telling prior to the formation of Grand Coalition government, the ODM made a proper agreement where Raila appoint his own ministers under that arrangement, and he is the one who could fire them. And I remember he fired Ruto from the Ministry of Agriculture, and after that Kibaki picked him to lead the Ministry of Higher Education. Let us call a spade a spade. If that is what Orengo is telling you here, and you know there is also this thing, Kevin, and let me talk because it forms the part of this discussion of today's, yeah? There is this discussion in Moso, the Homa Bay, I will be specific, in Homa Bay County, not even in Migori. There is this discussion in Homa Bay County that, you know, those people, they voted for Uhuru, we will vote for, they voted for William Ruto, so we will vote for William Ruto because some people voted for them. That's why you get, we have 2 ministers in Luo Nyanza. Let me be specific. And we have 8 in Central Kenya. Where are the likes of Kabogo? Where are Liki Nyanjui? Where are the man who is a good speaker called Mutai Kagwe? We have 2 parrots in Luo Nyanza. That's why they are being attacked. Sometimes let us call a spade a spade. The reason why these people are being attacked because they have turned to be a parrot. Opia Wanda is making noise more than anybody else. He has never connected even one house in where I come from in Ugunja. That's why that by election, people of Ugunja never turn out. They are not telling us here. It is only 15%. About 60,000 registered voters in a constituency. Only 15, even less than a quarter. Around 15, less than 15,000 people voted. And they are not seeing those things. So what we are saying, yes, even me, I may support the working relationship with William Ruto, but we must listen to the people. We must listen to people like Orengo. They warned us before, we dipped ourselves in the hole. We worked with him, we got something in 2007. We need a proper panel of working with William Ruto. We will not allow a certain people in ODM who are taking advantage of an 86-old man called Uhuru Odinga to push the agenda of selling ODM. Hiyo kama ni hiyo tutasema na hiyo ni ukweli. When I come to the issue of this presidency, President Uhuru Kenyatta, it is Junet who used to brag to us that is the one who was in the room when the handshake was being negotiated. It is this Junet who ate the money of urgent money in election in 2022. I am told now from January they are going to make it open. We are going to open for them the Pandoran box, because if we are lying after they ate money and make deal with William Samoei Ruto, these people disappeared. After they disappeared, in 2023, we had a Sofia movement. Challenge me with one picture of Junet Mohammed, Ali Hassan Joho, Oparanya, and Badi, who are still grieving that he was denied a ticket to be a governor of Homa Bay. We know the betrayers and we can call them with their names. They disappeared and they reappeared later after we were done with the Sofia Maandamano. So they should not lecture us. They are not ODM more than some of these people who are telling them the truth. They cannot sit in a pillow talks somewhere in that lodging and want to discuss the issue of ODM. If they are not afraid, they should come to the National Delegate Conference. They should call it to make sure that the people are with them. ODM is a movement. A movement is people. It is not a few official. Wameleta mpaka Mokora anajiita ati adopted son ya Raila Odinga now speaks about party. Party has become now a minute thing that you bring in some people who we don't know, has never been MCA. We have never seen them. Yeah. They are just coming there now because they have big stomach and some little cash that they are being given by NIS after the nini baba hapa, na tutawaambia na itakuwa uchungu kwao, na hapo mbele tutajipanga, na hata wao watapata hiyo Migori haitakuwa, kwa sababu wanataka hata hii nomination wanataka kurusha Nyamita. we can also sponsor Nyamita and we will campaign for Nyamita and we will be in Migori na itakalika huko. Na hata huyu Wanga achunge sana. We have men and women in Homabay capable of being a governor. She has done nothing. Ngoja. You will tell me economic value of a paya. You will tell me economic value of a waterfront. Ile kijenga kama stadium. Ile watu wanafanya tabia mbaya usiku ya kushikana tu na kuweka watu wa TikTok kupiga picha hapo. Tell me economic value of that thing. Tell me how many people that thing have employed. Because those are the things you are bragging with. The development is killing us. Which development is killing you? Surely, let us just be sometimes sincere when we talk about development. About this development. I've not finished. I'm giving you your time. I have 2 minutes. So I now know, and I come to full realization why Raila kept Sifuna all these years, even if he was seen as Sifuna was disagreeing with Baba. Because I know Raila Odinga have been ODM enough. I have witnessed the ejection of Margele Langat. I witnessed it firsthand. Tukiwa kwa ile nyumba ya Karoli Omondi. Before we go to this thing called the Chungwa House today. Yeah? The Chungwa House, the Omondi's house. Yeah? I also witnessed when Ababu Namwamba was chased away and could not enter Orange House. So I now understand why Baba kept Sifuna. Sifuna was kept there purposely to ensure that there are some conmen that Raila detected around. The only thing they did better than us, that when Baba died, when we were busy crying, they did a coup in party. So they have a leeway ahead of us. But with Sifuna there, and you remember when the first central committee of ODM, I told you about Ruth Odinga will be there. I remember ndugu yangu Barakis were complaining that Ruth is not even a member, and I told you Ruth will be there. And now that Ruth is there, is even criticizing that thing that Junet has brought to speak on behalf of ODM. My friend, I have one question. Raila have kids. He could not have loved, adopted Oria from Mandera more than his own kids. Ati huyo ndio sasa alimwachia kila kitu, anatembea na ndege kutuambia venye yeye sasa yeye ndiye aliambiwa vitu na Raila kushinda hata Winnie. He was not there when Raila was sick in India. I think the last time he was seen with Raila was something in Dubai, and he started sharing those pictures when Raila was already incapacitated, and they knew that he was not in India. So the people who are in India, one of them is my brother from down there from Uyoma. The other day tulimtembelea kwa boma yake, the security guy, Ogeta. Ogeta never told us all these things this man is telling us. I have listened to Winnie. I have not met Winnie personally, but I've listened to her when he was in Mombasa. I mean, I'm not hearing the same thing. Also, his sister, Ruth, is also telling us the opposite. So the people who have dreamed, for me, in our culture, if a man dies, it's only his wife who should dream of him first. And if your wife dies, a man, the husband, who should, I don't know where Mbadi and these other people dreamed Raila before Ida. Because Ida has not come publicly to tell us the dream, because we know how those dreams are. It is not just a dreamer pass here. It is a very deep something called dream. So let us maintain that in ODM there are crooks, and these crooks, they want to blame Uhuru Kenyatta. There is nothing. Uhuru Kenyatta is interested in politics, is not running, he cannot run again. So I don't know why he's buying ODM to take where, to who, for what purpose. Those are the questions we should ask. If Uhuru is trying to stabilize this Jubilee, why should he buy another party? Yeah, Because you want to sell a party, you make an excuse. And it is the same Uhuru who gave money for agent and you ate, and we know that we are forgiving people. Now you want to panga us here. Let us meet in that January, they are saying. Kupanda hapo juu March na tuite national delegate conference hapa Kasarani. Wengine watakimbia, watapita Mandera, watajipata huko Elwak huko kwao. Asante sana.
Ayaga, you're saying Orengo is your governor. Orengo is my governor.
Ayaga, I mean,
I don't want to talk too much.
let Joseph speak and then you come.
I don't even want to speak too much. Today,
you said something that I just want to respond to. I beg only 1 minute. Sit up.
I just want to say, hata siongei mambo mingi. Today, I just want to say that Ayaga today, I think Ayaga now will start be pumping knowledge, because I think he has pumped knowledge for almost 10 minutes. And when I was listening to him, even I was smiling here, because I've never heard Ayaga explain something so explicit. I don't think even there is a comeback from what he has said, because thank you, Ayaga, for enlightening us on what truly is happening. Because some people here will come and tell us, and other sorts of issues. But I'm grateful. Sasa hata nitakubali sasa, nimekuwa ndugu yako sasa, lazima you nipe hiyo knowledge uko nayo kidogo. I see you have some knowledge which you should disperse to us. But leo tafadhali, mtu akiongea tafadhali mpatie time aongee. Unaona mimi pia ninanyamaza hapa, siongei mingi. Tafadhali.
Asante sana ndugu yangu, asante sana, and I want to take this opportunity to thank my brother Goodyear. He promised me porridge and he has given me porridge, you know. Thank you very much. But now, Joseph, that is the fact. When it comes to matters of ODM, that is the reality, because people are just accusing us. If we start now telling the truth, they also will feel jostled kidogo. So ndugu yangu leo, if somebody is talking, give him time to speak. So we will give you time to respond and tell us, because you are accusing Orengo of not doing something. I will come back with what Orengo is doing, and also tell us those governors you know in Luo Nyanza. Let us be specific. In Migori, Omabay, and Kisumu, give me the project that those governors specifically can put their hands on, without Raymond Omolo saying also this belongs to government. Thank you very much.
Leo, you can proceed.
Okay. I just wanted to, of course, Ayaga have spoken, and you've forgotten that I come from Ugenya, the greater Ugenya. You might be coming from Ugonja. Ugonja was annexed from Ugenya, and the greater Ugenya, we had Ugenya and Uhuru, and I come from Ukwala, to be specific, and I'm an ardent supporter of James Orengo. I've never known how to oppose him, and sometimes, recently, yesterday I was talking to a sister of mine called Masawa, who is among the campaigners, and I was telling Masawa that, you see, even sometimes I don't want to ignore opposing Orengo, but he disappoints me. He disappoints me because he abandons his role. You know, Orengo has been a good legislature, and if we have to rate the legislatures that we have in this country, because I was disagreeing with Joseph, telling him that the role of an MP is legislation, the quality of the laws they make and the amendments, and nobody can beat one angry James Orengo in legislation. He made several laws, he made several contributions, constitutional contributions that defines him as a legislator. So being in executive, I think he sometimes forgets that he's part of executive, and he should concentrate on implementation and leave other people to be agitating for the rights and the laws and such kind of things. So he's doing the work that is not his. I think maybe that is the work that is best on. So I'll not make a lot of argument on that. And Ayaga has just told me something about the economic importance of the pier and the waterfront. My friend, the problem is you are used to swimming on River Ndoya, or how do you call it? Or is it Ogas or Woroya? So you've never walked past that place to realize the importance of this. Currently, we are having a population that is having youths who are unemployed. That lakefront and the TikToks you see them doing there, that is a source of employment. They earn a lot of money. I once visited a country called Indonesia, And the most active city or town in Indonesia is called Bali. Bali is purely an island, which is 99% tourist city. It is the one that is running the economy of Indonesia. Even Jakarta, which is the capital city, I didn't even manage to reach Jakarta because most commercial and business flights are landing in Bali Island. So when you go there, you will be able to appreciate that fire that you're seeing on the lakefront that you're seeing there. So it is now upon you to tell your friends who come from Homa Bay and have got some land facing the lake so that they demolish those structures. Those ones who are having like 10, 5, 6, I hear they marry a lot of women, and instead build some restaurants facing the lake, and they'll have to maybe smile in the next 5 years, even if they'll not be able to enjoy their children and their grandchildren will be able to have something in their name. There's something called BNB. I'll one day bring that lesson and teach on that. Look at what is happening in Siaya. I know however much I might not be able to like the leadership of Wanga and the rest. I don't want somebody to come and start telling us, oh, you see the ODM and the ODM. ODM in its place cannot all of a sudden start opposing William Ruto, yet their members are in the same government. What they need to do is to support and tell these members, prove to Kenyans that if ODM is given the government, they can be able to run it fully, because the 3 or the 6 of you here are able to do some wonderful job. Some of them are doing it, and I'll have to applaud Mbadi. I used to underrate Mbadi, but I've seen how Mbadi is doing his work. And you know, most of these ministries are working, but the only problem is we Wananchi, we are not feeling the government. Why are we not feeling the government? Because the people who should make us feel the government are not doing so. How should they do it? The cabinet, the president cannot come to Wotogik or go to Sigomre or Ogaso there to tell you that you see the government is doing this. It is the role of the people who are at this ministry that should be able to explain to us the policies of the government. And that is something that Mbadi have done perfectly. No cabinet secretary can beat Mbadi in that. He's all over in the TV, all over in the funerals. When he goes to the funeral, he doesn't go there to complain about how his government is bad. He's going to tell you that the government promised you 10 kilometers, but it has managed 2 kilometers, you can see. And right now, you'll agree with me that Kenyans are more conversant with how the treasury is being run than before. My brother Joseph talked of, we've had people like Uhuru Yatan, we've had people like Dugu or whatever in that ministry, but we never knew how these things work. We were just saying, oh, pesa imeiba and such kind of things. But Mbadi, even when called in parliament, he explains vividly, transparently, that this is what the government is doing. So it is either you buy it or you challenge it, which is really, 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 really good. And for those people who maybe have seen how our currency, I know the economy, there are so many things that you use to weigh the economy. Me, when Ruto got into power, I think that was 2 or 2 hours, I was back home. Actually, I hoped that Raila was going to form the government, and I also campaigned for Rengo. So I hope to get some share somewhere there so that I can just rest at home. So I took a leave of about 3 months. The economy was bad. By the time I was living where I was, if I had $1, it would give me 160. That time, I'm telling you, I decided to get back to work. That is after healing and everything. That was just last year in March. And from the time that we had this body and the rest in that treasury, the highest dollar has changed against the shilling is 129. So sometimes you sit down and you're like, oh, if I'm having $50 right now, it's initially it will give me like 60, almost 70K. So that one tells you how our economy is stable. So I don't want to speak ill of the people we talk about in ODM. I think, and I have to tell you, people like Juneta, I don't want to get into the business, because if I talk, you'll tell me the way you are talking, someone will read you have some bitterness with foreigners, and that is what makes Luos unique, specifically the Luos of Migori. They can just have somebody, or as long as you're able to speak Luo and you resonate with them well, they'll be able to elect you. So you are again running that you're telling us you're going to campaign for somebody in Migori. So I don't know how you want to leave Siaya, leave James Orengo struggling there, and being threatened by my MP, David Ochieng, whom I know is the threat he's having. Then you're going to help Nyamita maybe host Ochilo Ayako. That is misplaced priority. Just go and tell James Orengo that we need to see Siaya working. however much he's working, as long as he's still making noise on these political arenas and such kind of things, those are things that the citizens are seeing. You're not going to see the kind of things that he's doing over there. So that is what we are reminding him. And for ODM working with UDA, there is no problem with that. Actually, the turnout in your Ugunja constituency, let me tell you why it was low. The turnout was not low because of Wandai. The turnout was low because of what is called zoning. You people, like Orengo, who is calling that we need to zone ODM, yeah, that is why the turnout was low. You only had one candidate in Moses, and people knew that whether you go to vote or you don't go vote, Moses will win. But if we unite with parties like UD and these other parties, we make this thing competitive. Otete was able to increase the turnout in Homa Bay because he gave an alternative. But if you just want us to stick with what Sifuna and the rest are telling us, ODM is a big party, ODM is a big party, we have to put our mind in ODM, then the turnout is going to be low. So we don't want that situation. So whichever way, what Mbadi tells us, and I'll also remind you, we've worked with these other people. We've had political alliances, and right now we are brave and old enough to know our friends and our enemies. We don't want to do the same mistakes that Raila was doing. We've worked with Ruto before. That was 2007, you know very well. We've worked with Uhuru, and right now we are again working with William Ruto. And if you compare these two journeys that we've had, you'll find that we know who are the good friends, the people we can work with, and the people we should stop working with. So, bro, I don't know if you come from Ugunja. If it is true, then you miss a lot from the region, because I come from Ukwala. I pass Ugunja when I'm going home, and I know a lot from the ground. And right now, the truth is, my governor has known very well for his re-election is going to be challenging if my MP contests, that is David. So he's looking for an agenda that can propel him. What resonates with majority who don't know what they want. They will now vote Orengo because Orengo anapinga serikali ya Ruto. They are forgetting that hata yeye mwenyewe, where is his deputy governor? Why did the deputy governor fall out with him if he's really serious? So we cannot be such kind of things. He was the first person to lead the lawyers who hosted Gachagua. Then again, he thinks Gachagua will sit there and tell him that now we are going to work with the people about Kenya. They are going to vote for your candidate. The same thing, that the same mistake Kalonzo is seated there thinking that the Gachagua is going to rally people to support him. Yet we know very well the person who moved the motion to impeach Kalonzo, Gachagua, comes from Kalonzo's backyard. I've even condemned that. So I say these guys, some people don't learn. Orengo didn't learn with Jaramogi. He didn't learn with Raila. Now he's not learning with Winnie. Maybe we learn with Winnie's daughter or with Fidel's son.
Okay, thank you so much. And sometimes I listen to, I don't know whether to say politicians or what. Eric, just a minute. Sometimes I listen to politicians. I don't know whether Leo you are a politician or not, but if the narrative continues the way it is, I can tell you I cannot join politics, because to me I feel joining politics is Eric, just a minute. There's a lot of noise coming from your side. Eric, kindly mute. Yeah, I'm saying if I'm supposed to join politics based on the kind of narrative that I'm hearing here, then I will tell myself not to try, because I'll be forced to get into an environment that is full of lies, an environment that is full of PR, an environment that is full of protecting, sometimes protecting even when it is not really making sense and you just protect. And I think that is the toughest thing for me. And that is what sometimes makes me think twice before I try these things of politics. But anyway, acha nipe Joseph wakati ape maoni yake aulize swali kama ako nayo na maoni yake ya mwisho tukingoja Eric. Joseph.
Thank you, Marco Bura. I think I said everybody has his own views of what he sees the country has. So I think even Leo's points are valid to him. It's good. Kama yeye anaona he's feeling something that is being done by the government according to him, it's well, fine and okay.
I cannot dispute that. That's why we say we have freedom of speech. Marco Bura, me, I'm not going to say much. Today, Eric Kayaga amenimaliza kabisa na hizo points zake. Unajua hata amefanya mpaka nikaenda blank, because when he spoke about how the thing that happened during Kenyatta's time, we all know. He said about how Junet was in there when they were forming the Grand Coalition, and what they did after when they were given money to pay agents and everything. I think Mark Ayaga put it the way it's supposed to be there, and I don't want to say kuchafua hiyo notes zake vile zilikuwa, because they were very articulate and well put. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this time to tell you to have a good night. Thank you to all the viewers who are watching us, because I'm going now to watch some football match. You know, I'm also supporter of a team which is going to play now, and nimeona Chelsea wamefanya vibaya kule, so I think I'm feeling very happy. So I am about to leave because I have like 10 minutes to prepare so that I watch that game. So thank you, Ayaga. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Gypsy Corner. Thank you to Shema and all the listeners who are listening to us. I think we have had a very good debate. I think what we need to learn is just to give each other time to speak, because everybody wants to hear his views. I know sometimes inaweza kuwasha ndani, unasikia hapana, nataka kuongea. So sometimes I try to hold it inside because I want somebody to put his views there, and then I can put mine. And it's good also to, when we come here to talk, we also do some due diligence and look at the things we are talking about, if they are true or they are not true, before we air them here, because we might be misleading the people who are listening to us. But all in all, thank you for the time you have been with you. Marco Bura, thank you for hosting us today, and I hope you are going to have a good night.
Okay, thank you so much, Joseph. We appreciate the fact that you took your time to join us. Thank you so much, and have a blessed night. Eric, ni wakati wako.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I will have to answer my brother about now, because he's saying he's coming from Wolo. Now I understand. And he also went to Indonesia, the poorest country in South Asia. So if you see, if he interacted with those things like fire, my friend, sometimes, you know, for me, I'm coming from a place called Uyoma, and where I come from, I'm coming from along the lake. So if I tell you that that thing has no economic value as we speak, because government should put interest on something that will ensure that the people around that region where that thing is built with the taxpayers' money actually start feeling the effect of that thing. Not everybody, not even all those youths from village have good iPhones to take videos from the pyre to earn money. Yeah. And you know, as a videographer, even shooting, you cannot shoot all video from one place the entire year. That you will only be going to pyre to shoot a video so that you think it will people will buy it. It will not work. So sometimes when you say something, that I understand you went to Indonesia. You went to Indonesia, and their president is called Bong Bong. So I'm happy you go to such places. So, but it is good. Your place, people are swimming in Rivandoya. They call it Nam. For us, Nam is a lake. I don't know where your people got that word from. So what I'm saying, and you are MP. I'm sorry for all of you. I'm sorry for you, because I know and I know Ugenya in and out, from Barubir to a place called Baumbili, Pasluano. I know those places very well. So you cannot convince me in any part of Ugenya. Yeah. So from Barubir you pass through Sega, through Luhano, Lufunga, mpaka huku chini Baumbili, Ratado, wanabodana sasa na Busia County the other side. I know those places. David Ochieng using that Panda Mbegu party is a waste of time. I tell you, those things can only work in Ugenya. They cannot even work in Ugunja. And another thing I want to debunk, that the turnout in Ugunja was about because we have one candidate. My friend, when we have one candidate, the IBC will not waste taxpayers' money to hold an election in that region. They will declare that person elected and oppose without wasting time to print materials, to go down there so that people can vote. We have voters, we have candidates, include your MPs, because now you are DP MDG member. We had even an MDG member who was a candidate in Ugunja. So coming here, my brother, to say there was only one candidate, that's why the turnout was very low. Sometimes let us just be candid in our speaking. Let us not criticize Orengo when he himself in Wolu, he can confirm that the same way the power connectivity in his place in Wolu is still the same 1 year after Opiyo Wandayi took over the reign. And there is also another guy called Atandi, who is coming from Alego. Atandi, when picking over the role of the committee of budget, you remember, he told us that Ndidi Nyoro is stealing money to tile schools in Kiharu. It is 1 year. There is no tile school that has been tiled in the entire Lego. So if you want to criticize Orengo, let us look at each and every MP role. In Ugenya, I don't think, yes, David Ochieng has made a little bit difference. He has built some technicals around. He has built so many things. For him, that thing can work for him in Ugenya. Somebody lying to him that he should go past Ugenya, then it will not work for him, my brother, if you are hearing me. So I hope, by God's will, we shall be meeting in such platform to educate you, because the work of governor is really different. The work of governor is really different with the work of MP. Is also different with the work of a senator. We have a senator who also should be at the Senate to ensure that the money goes to Siaya. But our senator has been rotating around. He can't criticize the governor because he is also not doing his role. I don't think, I can't imagine the last time I saw him in Senate, to be sincere. So let us criticize these leaders purely based on merits and based on fact. You told me you are coming from the ground, so I wanted to ask you which ground, because me, I come from the ground. I know your village. If you are coming from Holo, so I know your village. I know Ugenya in and out. You can't teach me anything in Ugenya. I can call you in Rada. Maybe you can tell me things you saw in Indonesia. So I'm not. Miguda, Nani, Kevin, I think you are coming in Homa Bay. One day you will go down there, do a research for me. Since that fire, the economic value
I come
of
from
that
Kisumu,
fire.
not Homa Bay.
Also Miguda is coming from Migori. I think Barak is coming from Homa Bay. I will ask him to give me the economic value. Okay. He's coming from?
There's a day he said he's coming from Sia here.
Okay. So I think I need some to put things into perspective. Let us not build things to wink the youths, to lie to the vulnerable. Our people need things like Kigoto. Ile kitu ilianguka huko will made people do crops, maize crops, watu watapata mahali pa kuuza na wanatoka na pesa yao, and those are the economic values I'm talking about. See picture and TikTok. For you to start earning in TikTok, my friend, can take you a year to gather, even 2 years or 3, to gather all those viewership to start earning from TikTok. It is not easy. Let us not reduce our youths into a lazy thing called TikTok that has been brought here to derail our mentality in thinking instead of working hard. So I wish, Leo, my brother, you should have not talked about TikTok. TikTok should be for everybody. It should be actually something that somebody do as a part-time job. It's not a main job and earning. You can't earn. I've been in TikTok for about 5 years. I'm yet to receive even a single coin. If that was the main job Eric Ayaga was doing, hata hii bando, hata hii net nimelipa ya kukaa hapa leo, singelipa, singekuwa na nyumba, singekuwa hata nalipia watoto wangu school fee. If I could have been sitting somewhere to go and take a picture at the pyre to sell to the people. Let us sometimes argue seriously and sometimes criticize deeply what is going on. So I think I will end there. I thank my net. Yeah, it has not misbehaved. I'm past Bondo now. I'm heading home to join my grandmother in Kuvuka New Year and celebrate 110 years of her in this planet. So I think it is only tomorrow, then after second tutapanda mlima, tutaenda capital city na tutaongea siasa ile Junet ametupromise, na tutanyoroshana na wao equally. Wana mdomo, sisi tuko na mdomo. They should not bring the name of Uhuru. I think they should spare Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta did his best to try that Raila becomes the president of this nation. He squandered. Those are the people who surrounded, because you remember that there was days even me, I used to criticize the broad-based government. I remember my MP Otiende Amolo and James Orengo, the same James Orengo, criticized BBI. And what did Junet do? And John Mbadi, because they were majority whip and majority leader respectively, they whipped my MP Otiende Amolo from JLAC. And after all, the same thing Sorengo was telling them, the same thing Otiende Amolo was telling them, is the same fate that they met in court, and court dealt to them squarely. So they sell Raila when Raila was alive. We will not allow them to sell Raila when he's dead, and to sell our party, the movement, the people, when we are still in that movement. Thank you very much. God bless you. Kesho mvuke mwaka vizuri. Tukue makini kwa wale ambao wako kwa barabara. Tusiwe ati kesho tunamuka tunapata wenzetu wametuaga juu ya ajali na ABCD. So kwangu sisi naomba the most of the regions of ODM coast, northeastern, northern part of Kenya, western and Nyanza, the ID is open. Let us have these candidates who have sat for the KCP to have their ID, because they will not join also college without their IDs. And those who already have IDs, they need to ensure that they register as voters. That is my call, and that is my appeal. I think until we meet again, our viewers, all of them, include the good year, my good brother, I want to salute you. It has been a great year, bad year, a year with too much challenges, but I think the Lord God have a purpose and a reason for everything, that we have to go ahead as the people. We will never forgive, we will never give up in our country and ourselves as people. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, thank you so much, Eric, for finding time as well to give us your take. We really appreciate. Not forgetting Leo, who also joined us today. We really appreciate, and we hope that he'll join again. Not forgetting our good friend Busimamo, wherever he is. Thank you so much, Busimamo. Not forgetting Joseph, wherever he is as well. Thank you so much, Joseph, for finding time to join us. And Miguda, wherever he is, we really appreciate. Thank you so much for finding time to join us. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate our good friends who joined us at the comment section. Twin Star, thank you so much. Twin Star, Shaima, thank you so much for finding time to be with us. Leo, thank you so much. Nyamu KM, thank you so much. We really appreciate. Regenerate, thank you so much. Appreciate as well. And on this other side, I can see Francis Washira, Donald Kimaya, Austin Okumu, Ochere Charles. And lastly, good year. We really appreciate. Thank you so much for engaging us at the comment section. And once again, I also want to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to Goodyear for tunaita Uji for giving a good friend Eric. I remember you promised last time that you'll find him some tea, some Uji. So I know our good friend Eric, wherever he is going to have a serious Uji, and next time he comes, you will just hear for yourself. So we really appreciate. Thank you so much. And of course, as the year is coming to an end, we appreciate each and everyone who has always been with us. We really appreciate. And for your consistency, for your continued support, we appreciate everyone who has always stood with us. As we are planning to start a new year, we pray that Jehovah Lord will give us the grace to maintain and to do what is right. I want to once again say a big thank you and to remind you that this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you are watching for the first time, kindly like and subscribe. If you do so, it is a way of supporting us, na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. I want to take now this opportunity to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow, and we are wishing you a happy new year.